Atlanta can't stop a 20,000-plus crowd from joining us for Chipper Jones bobblehead night. We've also got a good matchup. Two playoff hopeful ball clubs meet in Game 3 of 4. It's the Rockies and the Braves here tonight at SunTrust Park. Hi again, friends, with Tom Glenn and Joe Simpson. Chip Carey, welcome back to the ballpark, where Atlanta's put together a terrific homestand. The last two games notwithstanding against the Colorado Rockies, who've won them here in Atlanta the first two nights. But, Joe, Atlanta sends Mike Fultonevich to the mound. He's red hot. Maybe he can be the stopper for the Braves and get him in the win column here in Game 3.
Well, the way he's been pitching, you would think that tonight would be the right night for the Braves to get back on the winning track, because Mike has been on quite a roll in the month of August. He's won 3 straight starts, and you're seeing action here from his last start here at home against the Miami Marlins, where he went 8 innings through 113 pitches and completely dominated the Marlins in that outing. He's got the stuff it takes to be the ace of this ball club. He's now got 10 wins, and here's the numbers from that start Monday night against Miami. Good numbers his last 7 at home here, Tom, but what's he got to do tonight to try to slow down this Rockies offense?
Well, he's got to do much of what he's done his last 3 starts to be so good, and that's locate his fastball. I've always said it about him. When he locates his fastball, it makes his off-speed pitches that much better, because you got to cheat to get to his fastball, and you can't cheat to get to and try to get to a fastball and try to hit his off-speed stuff. So the more he can command that fastball, the better off he's going to be, and it's going to be a challenge for him tonight, because he's facing a team he has not had very much success, if at all, against.
Well, maybe he can follow the pattern of Charlie Culberson, who came on in relief last night and was pumping 94-mile-an-hour fastballs past the Rockies in Game 2. He was bringing the heat. Kelsey will talk to Charlie about his historic performance at SunTrust last night when we come right back.
And by SunTrust. Confidence starts here.
Well, the rain is cleared for now. We're about to play ball, and if you went to bed early last night, you saw that man right there, Charlie Culberson, come to the mound and pitch in the 9th inning. And you know what? He actually looks pretty good. He threw 10 pitches, and all 10 of those registered over 90 miles per hour. And if you remember, Charlie Culberson used to play for the Colorado Rockies. He actually got a pitch to 3 of his closest friends, and Charlie Blackmon, DJ LeMahieu, and Nolan Arenado. And he even said that he was trying to get Charlie to smile at him when he stepped into the box, but Charlie was not returning the love. And today Charlie Blackmon said, yeah, I wasn't going to smile at him. I was trying to get a hit, and actually did do that. He got a double with 2 outs, but Charlie Culberson got those outs on 3 pitches last night, and he definitely gave his current coaches and teammates something to smile about. Here they are.
My first thought was I don't want to see Charlie off the mound, but being we were in the situation we were, and we're going to just go ahead and rest the rest of the guys down. The bullpen's another day of rest for them. I was kind of encouraging him to not really let it go, and he kind of gave me a stare, and I said, I think he's going to let it go, and he did.
Personally, I feel bad because because I know for me it's hard to throw 94. When I throw 94, it's because I'm feeling great, but he made it look so easy.
I never knew that he guy can throw that hard, but the thing is, you know, we start funning Julio that like this guy he throw harder than him, and it was funny. That's why we was really impressive when we saw that speed on the radar.
So he definitely impressed some of his coaches and teammates, and one of the best parts of it is that his entire family was here last night. His parents were here, his wife and her parents were here, along with her siblings and their fiancés, and he said he warmed up in the batting cages. He didn't go out to the bullpen. So whenever he was running out of the tunnel, he looked at his dad in the stands, who was sitting right over here, and his dad looked at him like, "What are you doing?" And Charlie said, "I'm going to pitch." And then he took the mound. So an exciting day for Charlie Culberson and his families that he'll never forget. But hopefully Mike Fultonevich can set the tone tonight in Game 3 versus the Colorado Rockies. Like Mike Fultonevich taking the mound for Atlanta. We have Chip Joe and Tom Glavine taking it back with first pitch next.
Best in-home Wi-Fi experience. By Delta Airlines. And by Synovus, the bank of here.
We are back in Atlanta. We're going to start on time after a rainy couple of hours here at SunTrust Park. Ed Mangan and the ground crew did a fantastic job of getting the field ready for play. And it will be Game 3 between the Rockies and the Braves tonight. Bud Black's ball club has come to town, and they've scored 16 runs in the first 2 games head-to-head with Atlanta. This is a terrific, well-balanced, and very deep National League lineup featuring Charlie Blackmon in the leadoff spot. DJ LeMahieu, Carlos Gonzalez, Nolan Arenado, Trevor Story. I mean, how's that for a fivesome if you're a starting pitcher to face with Dahl, Desmond, Walters, and Senzatella in the bottom half of the order? The challenge of getting those hitters out rests in the hands of Mike Foltynewicz, fellas, who's on a very impressive roll in rotation for the Braves.
Making his 24th start of the year. 10-7 on the year, 2.86 ERA. Been really good his last three. A great start his last time out against Miami. Went 8 innings, 7 strikeouts. Has had no success against Colorado in his career. 0-4 in 7 games, 5 starts. So hopefully that's going to change tonight.
His 4 keys to pitching success tonight. Number 1, lead off rocks. These guys have a lot of pop in their lineup, and for Mike this year, 14 home runs, allowed 7 to leadoff hitters in an inning and 17 leadoff walks in an inning. He's got to make sure he cuts down on those tonight. And DJ LeMahieu, etch that on your glove somewhere. We'll tell you why he's up second this inning. That's coming up.
And so is Charlie Blackmon, who's digging in. Sunshine trying to peek through on this Saturday night. And Mike's first of the day is called a strike by Joe West, and we are underway. How about a 76-degree start?
Nice night.
As Blackmon digs in, and Mike just missed it. 98 off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Charlie Blackmon had himself quite a night. A triple, a single, and a double in his final 3 at bats in yesterday's game. A game that Colorado won 11-5 behind Kyle Freeland, who was terrific in earning his 11th win of the year. Those 3 hits really helped Charlie Blackmon, who's had a rough month of August at the plate. 2 balls and a strike. And now bounced foul, 2-2. Charlie Blackmon has hit in 11 of 12 games against the Braves in Atlanta. So home cooking's been great for the former Georgia Tech star. But not this time. A slider takes care of Blackmon. Good start. Leadoff man retired. 1 up, 1 down.
That's what it'll take tonight. That good secondary stuff.
Yeah, got ahead in the count with the fastball. Comes back with that back foot slider and got him to chase. Good start.
So, Mr. Simpson, here is your other forward key facing off with Mike.
This is incredible. DJ LeMahieu is 11 for 15 against Mike Foltynewicz. No homers. 11 for 15. How do you do that against a guy that throws a bazillion?
1 ball, no strikes. And that's right there for an even count. Well, LeMahieu likes to hit the ball to right field. I would think, Tom, the advantage for him is he can be late and still be effective against Mike's upper 90s fastball.
No question. Yeah, I mean, obviously let the ball travel a little bit, which is not hard to do with a guy throwing 98 miles an hour, but there's something about it that he likes.
And it's a line drive to short. That takes care of LeMahieu quickly in the count. 2 up and 2 down. Check those out.
Those are some nice kicks tonight.
Maybe Mike's breaking those in because I think Players Weekend is next weekend around Major League Baseball. Players will have their unique nicknames on the back of their jerseys, not their last names.
Well, not just that. He's anticipating getting a couple of hits tonight. He wants to use those to run the bases, show a little flash.
I'm all in if that's the case. As Carlos Gonzalez digs in, he's the Rockies right fielder. The pitch to him is something off speed and called a strike. This is a very good fastball hitting team. This may play in for Mike as well. He's had great success with his pitches other than his fastball as far as opposing average is concerned. Let's see if he can use that secondary stuff to advantage tonight. As the 1-1 pitch is fouled away, it's a ball and 2 strikes.
Ridiculous average against on everything other than his fastball.
Tried that slider again ahead in the count, but missed inside. Even count. Carlos Gonzalez re-signed with the Rockies very late. So late that he's not in their main section of the media guide. He's one of their supplemental biographies. Kind of strange to see that, as long as he's played in Denver, Colorado, and played so very well. But he's a budding free agent at the end of this season. And he's having a very nice year. 14 homers, 51 knocked in. And Fultonevich just struck him out. Excellent start for Mike, who continues to roll. 2 strikeouts and a scoreless top of the first. For Atlanta. We'll see if he can keep that streak alive. Atop Brian Snitker's Toyota starting 9. Albies, Freeman, Markakis, Camargo, Enders in center. Kurt Suzuki's behind the plate. Dansby Swanson's on a nice roll, hitting 8th. Fultonevich is 9th. And Antonio Senzatella's come off the disabled list to make this start for Colorado tonight.
Yeah, coming off the disabled list today. 15 games this year, 5 starts, a 4-3 record with a 4.5 ERA. A lot of four-seam fastballs, throws hard, pretty good slider. So see if the Braves can lay off that fastball up in the zone. He likes to use it a lot.
17 walks in 47 innings too, make him throw the ball over the plate. Has not started since August 2nd. That's when he went on the disabled list for the 2nd time for a right shoulder inflammation.
So here's Acuna. Listen to the roar for Ronald as the first pitch sails off the plate. Ball 1. Acuna blistering hot leading off for the Braves, and he strokes another base hit. That's 9 straight games he's reached base to start. He slipped and fell as he rounded first base, but he's good to go, and that gives him an 11-game hitting streak.
Like a fastball, enter third.
Yep.
Nice turn on it.
So that's the longest streak of leading off the game by getting on base in Atlanta history. Martin Prado used to hold the record. He did it 6 games in a row. So it's 9 for Acuna, with Albies digging in. As he's got an 11 for 33 homestand working, his average at 280 on the year. Ozzie had a trio of infield hits last night. See if he can get that left-handed hitting stroke working again. The pitch is banged foul. Hey, nice grab by Drew Plant. Is his dad sitting down there near him? Where's Mike?
Yes, he is, I think.
Drew's got much better hands than Mike. Shouldn't surprise you. No balls and a strike. As Acuna leads, and it's outside. Ball one, strike one. Look at this play.
Off the screen, open the door, make the catch. With Dad sitting there.
Dad didn't even say, "Nice catch, son." Nothing.
He's too busy talking. He's not even watching the game.
Back to first is Acuna. 1 ball, 1 strike. Braves have done a good job of scoring early in the game on this homestand. They led briefly 1-0 last night before Colorado came charging back. And they have to pay attention to Acuna, who's already stolen 9 bases in 11 tries.
Might have been going on that one. He was leaning a little bit.
That's Bud Black. He's done an excellent job since becoming the Rockies manager. As this one's hammered into right field, a base hit. So back-to-back hits for Atlanta. Acuna and Albies are aboard. 2 on for Freddie Freeman. That's just how these fans at SunTrust Park like to see it play out.
Good swing by Ozzie. He's been looking for a little more line drive action left-handed, and he got some right here. Good hack.
What an easy, smooth swing that was. So Senzatella, 5 pitches into his night, has 2 Braves hitters aboard, and Freddie Freeman staring him down. Freddie leads the National League in hitting at .320 for the year. Colorado has cooled him off a bit. He's 1 for 7 in this series. See if Freeman can change that. Listen to the fans all of a sudden. Ball 1. Freddie with 150 hits on the year. 11 of them on this homestand. Albies and Acuna lead at first and second respectively in the pitch. Ball 2.
Senzatella has pitched against the Braves before, but never as a starter. It's all out of the bullpen. 23 years old, 6'1", 230 out of Venezuela.
Line drive caught at second. Throw to second is a double play. So Acuna wandered too far off the bag, and LeMahieu speared it and threw out Acuna, and just like that, there's a runner at first and 2 outs.
Freddie hit it on the button, but right at him. Speaking of double plays, they had a few last night in Pittsburgh.
7 of them.
Cardinals turned 7, or Cubs turned 7.
So let's see if Markakis can continue the inning for Atlanta. Nick 2, 1 for 7 in the series. His hit was an RBI single in the 9th last night. And he's pushed off the plate. Ball 1.
He's had a hard time locating that fastball so far. He's either missed bad or missed over the heart of the plate.
He's given up 3 hard hit balls, but no runs yet. And downstairs, 2-0.
He was on the disabled list earlier this year with a blister on his pitching hand, his right middle finger. Came back from the DL, pitched a good game his last time out against St. Louis. 6 innings, only gave up 1 run. Got a no decision, but went back on the disabled list with a strained right shoulder.
Right there for a strike. It's 2-1. Braves started action tonight a half game ahead of the Phillies. They're a game up now. Jacob deGrom threw a complete game 7 hitter at Philadelphia today with 9 strikeouts.
And that single run was unearned.
It's a lot of runs for Jake.
Ground ball up the middle. LeMahieu to his right. He'll make the peg to first, and that retires the side. Braves got a couple of hits to start the game, but a double play and a ground out sends us to the second. No score. Which can be a stopper in this series.
Great month of August so far. 3-0, extremely low ERA. Good work. Again, that last start against Miami here, game 2 of the doubleheader. 3 walks, 7 strikeouts, 113 pitches over 8 innings. He was terrific.
He'll face Nolan Arenado, who's 1 for 12 against Mike Foltynewicz. That tells you how good Mike's stuff can be, because Arenado is one of the game's great young players. 30 homers, 84 RBIs, and hitting over 300. Not to mention his perennial Gold Glove caliber defense at third base.
Yeah, he's one of those great players in the game that, unfortunately, being out on the West Coast, a lot of people don't get to see enough.
Well, we're lucky. We don't have to pay to come to the games. But if we did, I wouldn't mind paying the price of admission to watch this guy play every night.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say, Chip. Certainly pay to watch him.
And Joe, you made an excellent point last night. What I really love about what you said, it's so true, is how hard this guy plays no matter the numbers on the scoreboard.
No, he struck out, got called out in the 8th inning. Rockies were well in command.
Wow. Laser beam into center.
That was a slider, but it was not in the right place, obviously. I'm glad Mike got out of the way of the line drive.
Yeah, trying to go down, similar to the back foot that he throws to the left-handed hitters, trying to go down there and get him to chase, but didn't get the finish, left it over the heart of the plate, and he didn't miss it.
Yeah, happy feet and a happy finish to that sequence for Nolan Arenado, who's aboard with the first Colorado hit. That ball came back through the box at 102 miles an hour. Here's Trevor Story, the shortstop. And that's fouled away. He's almost overshadowed by Nolan Arenado. But Trevor Story's got 83 RBIs. He's at 25 homers. He's hitting .293 and has the highest batting average in the National League since mid-May.
Great on base percentage too for a guy that strikes out a lot.
This one's popped up. Long run Markakis. He's near the line and he's going to get there for out number 1. So Arenado at first. Story pops out. And here's David Dahl, the Rockies left fielder. Dahl had a terrific first game, a homer and a 2-run scoring single. Tougher times for him last night. He went 0 for 5 with a couple of strikeouts. Dahl at 260, 6 homers and 19 driven in, and that's upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes.
Yeah, it's interesting. I know they like him a lot. Former first-round draft pick, and getting more and more playing time and playing instead of Parra tonight is a testament to that.
Well, they've got to find out a thing or two about some of their young outfielders. McMahon, Dahl, because Cargo and Parra are free agents at the end of the year.
Yeah, all while trying to win.
Yeah. Swing and a miss at 97. A ball and 2 strikes. Arenado doesn't run much. He's got a very short lead, and that's taken low for an even count. We'll keep an eye on the Marlins and the Nationals score tonight. Miami leads 1-0 in Nationals Park. That's Chen versus Malone. The pitch. Now Mike's gone 3-2. Braves at the moment a game ahead of the Phillies. Washington is 7 games back of Atlanta and in 3rd place. Colorado starts action a game and a half behind Arizona. They're in 2nd place. The Dodgers are 2 games back out west. And the pitch is hammered down the right field line near the stands. Markakis will rush over but won't have a play. About an hour before first pitch, it was raining sideways here at SunTrust Park.
That might be an understatement.
There's dark clouds all around the ballpark, but some blue sky overhead. Hopefully we won't have any delays. The pitch fouled away again.
Great crowd.
I'm told that there is not a ticket to be had tonight. The pitch. Strike 3 right at the knees. A perfect pitcher's pitch. 3rd strikeout for Fultonevich. 2 out.
Well, you keep making pitches like that tonight. It's going to be a long night for Colorado.
And a nice milestone for Mike. That was his 500th career strikeout in the big leagues. And that ball will be added to Mike's trophy case. As he and Desmond stands in. Desmond's had a whale of a series. And he jumps on the first pitch and drives it toward Acuna in left. He's got it. And that retires the side. Mike pitches around a leadoff hit. No score. Chipper Jones is here. the new CJ10 beer in honor of his induction into the Hall of Fame. Good-looking label, good-looking crowd. Chipper's even got his sport coat on. He sampled the wares a little bit earlier today. And, of course, it's Chipper's bobblehead. Everybody raise a glass to the Hall of Famer who joins us here in our booth at SunTrust Park. You've had yourself quite a month of August, I think it's safe to say.
It's been busy, to say the least, but interesting. You know, I wake up every morning and look at Taylor, and I'm like, well, what are we doing today? You know, we got something going on.
Well, tell us about the beer.
Beer's great. You know, I'm not a huge beer drinker, but obviously coming to the ballpark, there's kind of a stigma to having a dog and a beer at a ballpark, and being here in hot Atlanta, you know, it's nice to have a light beer you don't get filled up on. You can have a couple of and partake in a little bit of the sacrament, you know, and I mean, it makes sense. So when I was afforded the opportunity to team up with Terrapin, certainly wanted to jump on that.
Yeah, hydration's very important.
Hydration is the most important thing.
You know what I loved about that logo? You know, it had the glove. There was nothing but good hops.
How do you top that?
Right?
Yeah, I'm gonna let people marinate on that for a while. That's unbelievable. But see, you guys are so good at, you know, finding the underlying, you know, like meaning, you know, reading between lines and stuff like that. I love it, you know, because y'all come up with some stuff, and I'm sitting in my living room at home, and, you know, sometimes I want to throw my flip-flop at y'all, but other times, you know, I'm like, that was quality TV right there.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Have you seen the bobblehead? Have you heard the Crazy Train song on the bobblehead?
I have.
So what are your thoughts?
I have. It's awesome. Hey, listen, anytime I can hear Crazy Train, I still get goosebumps, you know. So all of my 9,000 at-bats that I had in the big leagues walking up to Crazy Train, I had that kind of chill bump feeling. I came home a couple days ago with a box of them, and all the boys wanted them. They got them all on their nightstand. So the last thing they listen to every night before they go to bed is Ozzy Osbourne.
I was just going to say, what a great lullaby for Cooper.
I know, right?
Throw on a little Ozzy for nighttime. I've always meant to ask you, how did you choose that song for your walk-up music? Was there a reason behind that?
Well, Tom will remember when we played in, you know, cavernous Olympic Stadium up in Montreal. You know, there's 400 or 500 people in a stadium that has, you know, could hold 100,000 people, and Larry Walker used to walk up to Crazy Train, and the first time I heard it, I was like, that's awesome, because it just echoed throughout, you know, that cavernous ballpark. And he finally made it around to third, and I said, brother, if the Braves ever have walk-up music, ever, do you mind if I borrow that song? Because I think it's the greatest song ever. And he was like, how about it? And
really?
It's been, I'm probably more, you know, it's probably more associated with me than it is Larry Walker.
And there was a time when the Braves didn't have walk-up music. I don't remember that time.
Long time. Yeah.
When we were in at Fulton County, we didn't have it. It was probably a year or two into the Turner Field experiment.
Yeah, I think it all kind of cranked up when John Smoltz ran into Dancing Queen. I think that's when it all got rolling.
We have got to have a John Smoltz Dancing Queen bobblehead, don't you think?
That would be great.
That would be a classic.
I would love that.
So has this all sunk in now for you? Have you been able to decompress, unwind, ponder everything that happened in Cooperstown in the last couple of weeks?
A little bit. What's been crazy is that it's almost as if the celebrity has gone to a different level. You know, I've always been able to go to a restaurant or go to a supermarket and, you know, walk around and go relatively, you know, unnoticed. Can't do it now. I mean, my face has been out there too much, and it's been really cool to interact with the fans in a different way all over again. Everybody, you know, comes up and says congratulations on not just, you know, Cooperstown, but Cooper, and right in the middle of everything, we moved again, you know, so it's just been crazy busy.
You need to add a few more things to your plate.
Yeah, yeah. I did play golf with Smoltzy and Avery yesterday. That was a blast. That was a blast.
By the way, it started to rain here as
Shocking.
the Braves bat in the second inning. Did you see the lines of people waiting to come into the ballpark to make sure they were in line quick enough to get the bobblehead?
I did not, no.
It was unreal.
Well, if you're going to have a promotion, you want to sell out the stadium. So I'm awfully flattered that everybody wants to come out and get some little figurine of me with a little, you know, the bobbing head. It's pretty cool.
That's a whole lot better than having like 5,000 of them left over.
I was going to say, first 20,000 fans get 2.
I hear they're doing a Jose Urena jersey down in Miami. I wonder how many they'll have left over there.
They might have a few.
Yeah, we may have to have you stick around for another half inning. We got a lot of things to talk about.
Okay.
As Kurt Suzuki bats, 2 balls, 2 strikes, scoreless game. Rockies and Braves dueling here. I do want to ask you, while we have a moment, your thoughts on watching Nolan Arenado play.
Absolute stud. He's an absolute stud. I mean, obviously he's not available, but if I were to, you know, get into, you know, Alex Anthopoulos' ear, you know, for, you know, especially with, you know, our cornerstone guy being, we'll get into that next inning.
Yeah, that guy's not too shabby either. Trevor Story. Chipper Jones with us in the booth. He'll stick around for another half inning. No score. Game 3 here at SunTrust Park. It is indeed the dog days of summer, but the Braves and Rockies both having good years. Both teams hopeful of making postseason play. Atlanta at the moment a full game ahead of the Philadelphia Phillies. And Chipper, Mike Foltynewicz is having himself quite a season. He's on a nice roll. What do you see that's different about Mike this year as opposed to last year from a hitter's perspective?
Command, being a lot more productive with each and every pitch. You know, I kind of lumped him in the same kind of group with Smoltzy, you know, going out there trying to strike everybody out, pitching away from contact. And, you know, he's got good enough stuff with, you know, 3 different pitches. Hey, fill that strike zone up, you know, challenge the guys with your fastball, with your 97, with your changing speeds on your breaking stuff. And, you know, he's going to run into, if he goes 7 innings, I mean, he's going to strike out 8 people, no problem. You know, and on a good night, he's going to strike out 11 or 12. But it's nice to get those 1 and 2 pitch outs sometimes that might help you extend games from the, you know, only being able to go 5 2/3, maybe 6 innings to going into the 7th and hopefully into the 8th.
What would you do against hard throwers? Would you change anything, do anything different to adjust to a guy who's really bringing it?
Yeah, shorten everything up. You know,
would you spread out at all?
No, not so much spread out. If they had a big disparity between their fastball and their out pitch, meaning mile per hour wise, I might spread out then. But if I was simply trying to get out in front of the fastball, I would just shorten everything up. I would abbreviate the toe tap. I would abbreviate the swing, because I was a big proponent of letting the pitcher provide all the power. I need to get the bat to a certain position at a certain time, and if I was on time with that, that's when I centered balls. And I think where hitters get in trouble is when they try and match swing speed with miles per hour on the mound, and it's almost the opposite.
Senzatello's going to try to bunt Walters to second base after the leadoff hit by the Colorado catcher. Senzatello's 1 for 10. That hit's a double. He does have 3 sacrifices, but has struck out 5 times. Just off the DL, and that's outside, ball 2. Rockies have a good club, don't they? This is really an American League offense playing in the National League.
Well, they normally do.
Yeah, good point.
But see, this is the perfect situation right here. I mean, he's got a guy that's giving him an out, and he's going to be 4 pitches into this at bat. Hey, let the guy bunt it back to you, take your out, and start pitching from there.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Hey, good arm from Joe West. Threw that over to Drew Plant. Did you see the Joe West earlier this week? 2nd most games umpired in history. Past Bruce Framing.
Good for him. Happy for him.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Here it is. It's a full count. He's trying to give you an out, Mike. 3-2. Charlie Blackmon waiting on deck. LeMahieu and Gonzalez lurking. No score. Swinging a fly ball to center. But Ender's going to retreat and make the play. Senzatello stung that ball. And he can't advance the runner. So it took a little longer than Mike liked, but he got a good result. Runner at first still. 1 out, and Charlie Blackmon's coming up.
That was a nice gift from Mizuno we saw with the bronzed glove. That was really cool.
Mizuno has treated me so well throughout my career. That was just another illustration yesterday. Oddly enough, Clint Salmons, old Braves catcher, is now one of the guys that I deal with at Mizuno. So good to kind of see him, still doing well. But yeah, Mizuno, I mean, if you go back, I mean, just such a great relationship with them from the very beginning. I've basically been head to toe Mizuno my whole career. And I can remember one year, might have been late 90s, early 2000s, where I didn't win the Gold Glove, but they gave me my Gold Glove bonus at the end of the year because they believed I should have won the Gold Glove.
Is that right?
Just willing to make sacrifices, and it's just been a great relationship, whether it's Jim Guadagno back in the day or
Mike just balked.
Yeah, he did. Jim Guadagno back in the way, or Clint Salmons now. It's just been a perfect marriage. Their headquarters are here in Atlanta, and it's just made perfect sense.
So Charlie Blackmon now has an RBI chance, but he's down in the count 0-2. Mike struck him out with a slider his first time up, and tried to get him with it again, but it's fouled away. Still 0-2. So now we're back to the top of this vaunted Colorado order. Blackmon, LeMahieu, Gonzalez, Nolan Arenado batting 4th. Rockies have a couple of singles. No score yet. As Mike ready for his 44th pitch. And Blackmon fought it off. Mike is trying to beat the Rockies for the first time in his career. He's 0-4 lifetime against them. And now the 0-2 pitch. Hammered into center. Ender got a good jump, and it's right at him. Throw back to second will be a little late. And just like that, 2 outs.
Chipper, one of the things that at least I have enjoyed a lot, and I haven't been able to watch the whole thing, is the round table you guys had when Gretchen and the rest of the Fox Sports crew were up there taping some stuff from Hall of Fame. That looked like a lot of fun.
Oh, it certainly was. I think anytime we get a chance to not only hang out together, but hang out with Bobby and John Sherholz and just kind of reminisce. I mean, it's so much, so much is talked about, that Braves dynasty, but there were so many conversations that we weren't privy to that, went on behind the scenes. And I'm, just from a selfish standpoint, I don't know what the heck happened there.
That slipped out of Mike's hand about as badly as you can throw a pitch. Good thing there wasn't a bull on the signage behind home plate, because it would have smoked it.
There's wild pitches, and then there's
wow. I haven't seen that one in a while.
No, that's one where you're fortunate to just laugh it off and thank God nothing happened.
Yeah,
right. You got hurt.
Thank goodness Walters wasn't on third. But yeah, I mean, anytime we get a chance to just kind of reminisce, and from a selfish standpoint, I'm always interested to know what went on behind the scenes, decision making wise, when they were trying to determine whether it was going to be me or Ty Van Poppel in the draft room. That one's always interesting to me. But and I don't think Bobby's still come clean. Bobby's always like, "Oh, Chip, you were my first choice," and I'm like, "You are such a liar."
Yeah.
Because I know how those guys think, and I feel the same way. I am all about starting pitching, early in the draft, and I know that Ty Van Poppel was high on a lot of people's lists over here.
We can understand the care with which Mike is working LeMahieu. As Joe pointed out, he's 11 for 16 against him in his career, and he lined out to short his first time up. 3-0 pitch, and he took a strike there. It's 3-1.
Those numbers make me feel really good about what I did against Redmond now. I own him. Right? I mean, my goodness.
Well, Mike is here. You can tell him after the game, right?
I'm pretty sure what LeMahieu is off Fulte is cold compared to what Redmond was off you. I couldn't believe those splits at one point.
That's what Tom said when he sat down and he saw those numbers. Oh, now I don't feel so bad. Right?
Well, LeMahieu's never hit a homer off Fulte. Did Redmond never hit a homer?
I think he got one or two off.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he got a couple.
Quick snatched him a time or two.
Well, Mike's battled back to fill up the count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Walters at third. The pitch is a roller foul at the plate. Joe West said he's out. It was in fair territory.
He's out in front of him.
And LeMahieu ran into the baseball in fair territory. So Joe West calls him out. Bud Black's going to come out and argue. And Mike Fultonevich works around a leadoff single, a balk, and a wild pitch to keep this game scoreless. How about this? Chipper, Joe West makes the biggest call of the game here in the 3rd inning.
No comment.
He was out in front of the plate. Joe West had the best seat in the house to call it, and he got it right. Chipper, great to see you, man. Congratulations on your bobblehead.
Love y'all.
CJ10 beer, and of course, Baby Cooper. No score. Chipper Jones with us tonight at SunTrust Park. Dansby's on a nice roll. Mike Fultonevich will follow him, then Ronald Acuna Jr. Nice work by Fultonevich to pitch around another leadoff single, a balk, and a wild pitch. And then LeMahieu bounced the ball in front of the plate. Ran into the baseball in fair territory, and the catcher gets the put out. Dansby's hot streak is our Georgia lottery hitting the jackpot.
Yeah, he's beginning to warm up. Last 7 games, 3 for 7 in this series.
9 hits in 19 tries overall against the Rockies pitching staff. That's smoked into left field, sharply hit past Arenado. So Dansby with an extra base hit in his last 4 consecutive games. Leads off the Atlanta third with a single. The second time the Braves have had the leadoff man aboard.
Fastball, as Tom said, Senzatella's having a little trouble finding some corners with that fastball.
No, he generally is up in the zone, like we said, but he's been up in the zone and over the heart of the plate, which is not a good combination.
Well, Senzatella couldn't advance Walters with a bunt. Let's see if Mike can push Dansby to second base. Butted through that one, strike 1.
He's done a good job with this during the year. He's put down 5 sacrifice bunts.
Snap throw back to first with LeMahieu darting behind the base runner, Dansby Swanson. No balls, 2 strikes. A little roller hit toward Desmond. He's going to go to second for 1, and that's all they get. Fultonevich's flying feet get him to first base, but Swanson's the lead runner, and he's forced out. Nice play by the former shortstop turned first baseman Ian Desmond.
That was a good play.
He has gotten a couple of, if not 3, force outs at second base in this series for similar ground balls hit to him. He's not shy about throwing the ball to second.
So here's Ronald Acuna, led off with a single. 9 straight games he's led off the game by reaching first base or beyond. He now has an 11-game hitting streak. And swung late there, strike 1. Acuna hitting .353 out of the leadoff spot, and he scored 27 runs. That is exactly what you want your #1 hitter to do. And he's now a homer shy of 20. Remember, he didn't come up until mid to late May, and he's missed a month with an injury. Just think about where his numbers would be had he stayed healthy. He is rolling right now. The pitch, check swing, and bounces foul. 1-2.
It's funny, Chip, but I think of it the other way, that we're so thankful that he's been able to come back and play and put these numbers up, because it looked like when it happened, that knee injury in Boston, that might be a season ender.
Yeah, so really your way of thinking might be the best way. It is gravy, everything the Braves are getting out of Acuna now. 1 ball, 2 strikes. With Fulte a short lead at first, the pitch.
He's so quick. He's got great bat speed. And I was asking a couple of days ago, I was asking Kevin Seitzer about what is it about him that creates this great bat speed, and he said his hips, and both he and Jose Castro said his front hip is so fast, and that right hip kind of throws toward, helps throw the barrel of the bat. his hip turn is quicker than you think because you're watching the bat all the time.
See the protective arm and elbow guard for Acuna. Started wearing that after Urania hit him when Miami was in town. He came out of that game, but did not miss a game.
Thankfully.
Yeah, dodged another bullet there.
1 ball, 2 strikes, and that's taken low. It's now 2-2. He's got the whole right side of the infield to play with if he wants to guide a pitch that way with 2 strikes. Charlie Blackmon plays him slightly to pull in center. That's a interesting pitch from the hitter's perspective. Slight flinch, but he hung in there pretty well, I think. That's as close as anybody's come to hitting Ronald with an inside pitch since the Urania fastball.
I think that was a definite hanger. It just backed up a little bit.
Yeah. Tried to go front door with it and didn't get any rotation on it.
So the 3-2 popped up, but headed for the Delta Club seats behind home plate. We'll do it again. Senzatella ready with number 42, and it missed outside. Acuna draws a walk, and the Braves are in business. 2 on with 1 out. Nazi's coming up. Ozzie singled in the first. That's his 12th hit on the homestand. 139 hits for him on the year. Well, you look at the National League offensive standings. There are a lot of players in the offensive lists in this game tonight. Ozzie's certainly one of them. He's 3rd in the league in hits. In fact, 5 of the top 10 men with the most hits in the National League are in tonight's game. The top 4 multi-hit games leaders are in this game. 3 of them play for the Braves. No balls and a strike. Bouncing ball foul. It's 0-2. Ozzie's also in the top 5 with average with runners in scoring position. He's 5th in the National League at .341. Brian Anderson of Miami has the highest average. He's hitting almost .400. Foltynewicz leads at second. Acuna at first. The pitch. And 1-2.
Yeah, I don't know if he's pitching inside like that by design or if, again, he's just having a little trouble
I think it's
controlling it.
A little bit of both. You know, I think he's one of those guys that you might set up on the outside corner and he might pull it and throw it on the inside corner. If they did that on purpose or not, it's a good pitch. Threw 2 off-speed pitches.
A little roller hit to the right side. There'll be 1 play. It's to first. The Braves have him 2nd and 3rd. 2 outs for Freddie Freeman. Freddie hit the ball on the button his last time up, but he lined into a double play as Acuna wandered too far off the second base bag. And Freddie is tonight's SunTrust confidence player.
You know, you could take an 18-game sample for Freddie just about anywhere in the season and you'd have similar numbers. So consistent. Let's see if they really do pitch to him here.
Well, let's pick your poison. Do you want the #1 hitter or the #2 hitter in the National League batting chase? That's the luxury Atlanta has with Freeman and Markakis back-to-back on the lineup card. And maybe that pitch is an indicator. Ball 1.
Well, that may be an indicator why they're not walking him intentionally, because there's not enough strikes being thrown. In the fear of a bases loaded walk.
Steve Foster's got the right cap on tonight. That's good news. Watching from the Rockies bench, the pitch fouled away. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, to me, if you're in a situation like this as a pitcher, if you've got 2 guys that are, like you say, pick your poison, unless you're just absolutely sure you want to walk a guy and load the bases and go after the next guy, you're better off trying to get this guy out. You've got an open base. You can be more aggressive. You can play the chase game a little bit more. You walk Freddie, you load the bases with Nick. It kind of takes away that chase game a little bit. And you're more in a throw strike mode.
Two balls, 1 strike. Three-man shift right side for Freddie. The pitch missed up and in. Ball 3. Good patient approach for Freeman here with 2nd and 3rd, 2 out.
That was pretty subtle, wasn't it? From Blackie?
Yeah.
And now Walters has to waste a mound visit here.
Well, he wants to make sure to convey what Bud Black's message was, which was don't throw a strike. You know, and if Walters is behind the plate just still giving a sign, that's not telling Senzatella anything. They're hoping Freddie will expand his zone.
So it's a full count now.
Well, do you follow the old adage? Throw it 3-1, you got to throw it 3-2. We'll see. I don't know if he's doubled up too many changeups tonight.
The stretch and time called. Now we're ready to go with another 3-2. And Freeman took it to load the bases. That is Senzatella's first walk.
That was a good pitch. It's a good take.
Beg your pardon, second walk for Senzatella. And Foster's on his way out. With the bases loaded and Nick Markakis is coming up. Nick has been a 2-out specialist at the plate. And you can understand why the Rockies pitch so carefully with Freddie Freeman. Nick hasn't had the same kind of luck at the plate as Freddie has had of late. Freddie's the hotter hitter of the two. But as we said, Nick got a 9th inning hit last night. Maybe that'll get him going in Game 3 tonight. So Brave at every base for Markakis, is hitting .348 this year with 2 outs. Crowd buzzing, full house, looking for the game's first run. Ball 1. Senzatella and Walters look like they're having some trouble here. He's had to step off a couple of times and just did a moment ago. 1 ball, no strikes. Ball 2.
Yeah, it seems like he's getting a little bit frustrated. I think he wants to throw his fastball more, and they want him to go off speed more. And yeah, hasn't been a good mix so far.
Well, let's see what he throws behind in the count. Fly ball, center field. Blackman is not going to get there. And a couple of runs are going to score. Markakis comes through with a 2-out single. It's 2-0 Atlanta. The unbelievable season for Markakis continues in tonight's 3rd inning.
I used to hate this from a defensive standpoint, that he didn't hit it hard. He dropped it in there, but with 2 outs, the runner at second can run on the crack of the bat and score easily. And that's exactly what happened, as Nick was able to drop it in there.
Those are the ones that make you appreciate all those years with Andrew Jones, because he was so good at catching those kind of balls.
So Markakis with 80 RBIs. The inning continues with Camargo, and he almost got clipped on the elbow. Ball 1. Put Nick Markakis' season in perspective, he played 160 games last year and drove in 76 runs. He's up to 80 now with 40 some odd games left. So he's got a shot at 100 RBIs. He last did that in 2009. Long inning for Senzatella, who again needs a reset on the signs. He's about to throw his 30th pitch in this 3rd inning. Little broken bat shot down the 3rd base line, and it's now a 2-1 count.
Got to say that was an odd 2-0 count swing.
Yeah. Wonder if that was a fastball that had a little accidental cut on it.
And I think Camargo's going to use one of Ronald Acuna's bats. Bat Boy brought 3 or 4 different new war clubs out to Camargo, and Joe West saying, "Let's go, son." Yep, he's got one of Ronald's bats that has that red tape on the handle.
And you know what Ronald's saying right now? Don't swing at that pitch again with my
No, that better not be my gamer.
2 balls, 1 strike. High fly ball, wallop deep right. Gonzalez back to the track, is going to have room. He just missed. But a terrific inning for Atlanta. 30+ pitches for Senzatella. Nick Markakis with a 2-run single gives Atlanta a 3rd inning lead. Florida, Ole Miss, and Auburn. And we round out the College Nights program with the University of South Carolina September 3rd. Get your ticket and co-branded hat at Braves.com/College Nights. Another reason why we're sold out tonight, it's Georgia Bulldogs night. And the new head coach of the Georgia basketball team, Tom Crean, is with us tonight in Atlanta. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
Welcome to Atlanta and welcome to Athens.
Thank you. Thanks. Great to be with all of you. Great to be in this situation. And you got to have a sellout on Georgia night,
Heck
right?
yeah, man.
But it should be a sellout every night with how good this baseball team is playing.
It's been a lot of fun.
It sure has.
Are you all settled in Athens?
Yeah, a little over a month now. We moved in, and I got the job on March 16th and was kind of commuting a little bit here and there between where we live in Florida and Athens. Obviously more time in Athens and on the road recruiting. But then we moved in beginning of July. My family's with me tonight and a lot of our staff. And so we're all settled in.
What made the Georgia job so attractive to you?
I just think my impression was that it was all there, and the sense of the campus and the sense of the passion for sports. I didn't know a lot about it as far as like the sense of being there. I hadn't been there since 1990 when I was an assistant coach at Western Kentucky, but just following it, paying attention to it, it's been great. And it's been far more than I could have ever thought, because the one thing that I really didn't have a feel for was how strong it is education-wise. I mean, we're one of the top public universities in the country. You know it's good, then all of a sudden you get in and you find out it's way beyond what you ever thought it could be.
As I tell these two guys to my right, it is the Harvard of the South, you know.
No question about it.
It's become that, no question about it. Having kids gone through it now, trying to apply there, trust me, I'd love to pay that tuition.
Let me tell you, once I left, the academic standards went way up. So that explains a lot.
Well, what Tom's saying is incredible. The hardest thing to do in this state for a high school kid right now is to get into the University of Georgia.
Yeah.
It's amazing where the academics are at, and that's the stuff that you learn that just gives you energy. I mean, as far as what we're trying to do with basketball and the people we want to recruit and the character of the person and student. And we've walked into some really good people in our program, and I want to make sure we keep that going.
You resuscitated a program at Indiana, so you know about rebuilding a
Sure.
program. I would assume that it's safe to say the Georgia program isn't one that needs to be rebuilt. It just needs to be nurtured and grown and developed. Is
I
that
think you're
accurate?
exactly right. Exactly. I mean, there was nothing like what we had to take over at Indiana, and we were able to do it. But when you walk in here and you got the quality of people and the level of support and alignment that you have with Greg McGarity, with President Moorhead, with the people that I'm dealing with on a daily basis, I mean, that after being at Indiana, I'll never take that for granted. I mean, at Marquette, we really had that. Sometimes at Indiana, not so much. I look at that and I say that is what it's all about. The facilities are great. You want all that. But if you're not connected on what you're trying to build, it is really, really hard. And I think we have that there. Kirby Smart is certainly proving that that is there.
2 quick outs as Trevor Story's the batter. He's the Colorado shortstop.
Coach, we understand you're a big baseball fan, too.
I love it. My son's a right-handed pitcher. He's going to play at the University of Georgia. He got drafted by the White Sox a year ago. It was late, so he didn't go, but he went to the IMG Academy in Florida. Great. And love baseball. Absolutely love it. So I hope if Tom ever comes to see us, though, Greg Maddox saw us play once because I'm friends with Mike. Greg saw us play once at Indiana. We lost the game. So
yeah, well,
hopefully you'll bring us better luck, or I'll do a better job coaching if you come to a game. So.
1 ball, 1 strike for Trevor Story. Braves lead it 2-0 on a Nick Markakis hit. Coach, the Braves have done a great job recruiting in the state of Georgia. I would assume the same thing would hold true for the Georgia Bulldogs basketball program. This is a fertile basketball environment.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. I mean, and when you look at the quality of the people, like we walked into some really good guys. I know I've said that, but it is important that we establish that. We've just got to get people to see it. And because I know how much I feel every day, and I've been there 5 months now, but we just got to get even the kids. You'd be surprised sometimes how many kids in the surrounding area had not really been there as consistently as they should be. And we've got to show that. We've got to bring that. And we'll get a chance now with school being started to get them back there for the first football game on the 1st. And I'm looking forward to it. We want to take care of home base. You know, no pun intended here. Yeah. We want to take care of that first.
And if nothing else, everyone who has seen your press conferences, seen you when you got the job, know how passionate and enthusiastic you are. That helps sell the program to the kids too, doesn't it?
I hope so. I mean, I love it. I mean, and if I'm getting energy from it, I think it should come to others. But like my first trip in here, this is awesome. I mean, this is great being a part of this park. My son had a baseball tournament a couple years ago when this was still being built, so you got a chance to drive around it and see it, and to walk into this. Couldn't have imagined it looks like this. And I think that's what I want people to feel like when they come into Georgia for the first time and see the facilities and the campus and see Athens.
Looks like Story beat that play by an eyelash at first base. That is some kind of a hustling player, Trevor Story. And he keeps the inning alive with 2 outs.
So I want to know, how has the recruiting game changed for you over the years with the advent of the one and done guys now?
Well, I think it's going to get even better when they eliminate that here fairly soon, and it may not be till 2021 or 2022 where kids can go out of high school. But you can't be afraid to recruit those guys. You know, we've had guys leave after 1 year. At Indiana, we had some leave after 2. But you can't get away from your bread and butter, and that's being able to develop guys. Victor Oladipo, who plays for Indiana now, the Pacers, he had 1 scholarship offer coming out of high school. He wasn't a top 100 player. He left 3 years later as the 2nd pick in the draft. You want to make sure that you're not afraid to recruit the best players, but you also trust your eyes. And I'll tell you one thing, and not just because we're here, but the book that was done after Moneyball, Scout's Honor, on the Braves, I reread that book every year. And one of the biggest parts of that book is the character and makeup part. You know, and it goes through obviously a lot of you coming up in here and your teammates. And really, if you can stay true to that as much as possible, deal and navigate with some of the issues, and you stay true to that even when things are going wrong around you, you're going to win out more over the end. And I don't want to lose that ability for us to see that in a player.
When can practice start?
Well, we get 8 weeks in the summertime, and we started school Monday at Georgia, so we started actually Monday. We had a workout this morning, but official practice starts the last weekend of September.
Okay.
And you get 42 days to get 30 days of practice in before your first game. But we're well at it. I told our guys today, we're just taking advantage of the edge that the school gave us by being able to start school early. We can look at it half full or half empty. So.
Well, if it's 2 days, it may be half empty. And what would you describe your style that you hope the Bulldogs to play with would be?
We want to have great spacing. I mean, we want to use, like our fast break be like the motion offense of our team, where it's personality driven on this guy does this guy does that. It's hard to scout, get the ball up the court fast. Our last 6 years at Indiana, over that 6-year period, we led that league in scoring at 78 points a game. We definitely want to hit that and get even further. We want to be very good from the 3-point line without hunting threes. And we got to be a team that can play pressure defense, whether it's man or zone early on, whether it's 3-quarter court, half court, but get out and play, get our running game going. But there's an old saying, the ball finds energy, and we got to make sure our team is like that. I don't think this is a team where 1 or 2 guys are going to dominate us night in and night out in scoring. Hopefully you have numerous guys that can get you 20 plus, but if we have a really good balanced team of double-figure scores, I think that would be the direction we want to take it.
Well, if that's the case, then Stegman Coliseum is going to be a rocking place. The newly renovated Stegman Coliseum.
It's beautiful. I mean, it really is. That is the goal. And you see a night like this tonight and coming back for the spring game, the G-Day game with 83,000. And there's all these people here, and there's no question that fuels a lot of desire to get them in there during the wintertime. And I want to see the Hawks be successful, too. There's no doubt about that. But there's no reason whatsoever we can't get people to come there during the winter and feel that passion that they feel for the Braves and that they feel for Georgia football and the Falcons and all the things that they're excited about.
You grew up in the upper Midwest. Is that correct?
Mount Pleasant, Michigan.
Mount Pleasant.
Yeah.
Okay, so who was your favorite baseball player as a kid growing up?
I had two. Kirk Gibson.
Right.
And Don Mattingly.
Really?
Yeah.
Two good ones.
Yeah, absolutely. But the Tigers, they were my team, right? I got to see Mark Fidrich pitch.
Oh, yeah, the bird, yeah.
I saw him pitch 3 times that infamous 1976 rookie year. But grew up loving baseball, and it certainly moved since then, you know, to other teams. And I was always a Braves admirer, all right, based on what they did, based on what guys like Tom and Greg and John Smoltz, who I got to know. We were from an hour apart in Michigan, and got to know him through some of my travels. So I've always been a big admirer, and now like I'm really looking forward to being a fan of it.
1 ball, 2 strikes for David Dahl, and that one is poked over third on a 1-2 count. Streaking around second is Story. He's going to make it. The throw's going to go to second. That's going to be an eyelash late. And the Rockies keep the inning alive after Dahl fouled a ball off his ankle. He dumps one into left field for a hustle double, and the Rockies have him second and third with 2 outs.
He just pulled out his sand wedge on this one.
Yeah, that was a soft serve there.
Nice play by Acuna. Made a good throw to second and almost got him there.
I got a question for Tom, if I can.
Sure.
Coaching question. The one thing comes to your mind, all right, that you carry with you all the time from Leo Mazzone.
Locate your fastball.
Locate your
command
fastball.
Down and away. You'll get guys out.
Studied him, never met him, but studied him, studied Bobby Cox all those years. And guys like that could coach any sport with their ability to, just from looking at it from afar, part of being an admirer of them, they could coach any sport because of the way to teach technique, detail, and fundamental.
Yeah,
but
well,
build confidence.
Particularly the pay attention to detail part of it, for sure.
Who was your coaching mentor, Tom? Or maybe the most influential?
Well, I would say probably I worked for my high school coach, Denny Kuiper, who I got a chance to work for, and the man that gave me my first chance in college coaching at Division III, Ralph Pym. But when I went to work for Ralph Willard at Western Kentucky in Pittsburgh, and then I was on Tom Izzo's first 4 staffs. So without a doubt, I've got to go with those guys because they gave me so many chances and taught me so much, and they were hard on me and demanding. And without that, there's no way you become ready to be a head coach. But there would have been no way without being with those guys that I would have been ready to take what we had to deal with at Indiana when we walked in there. Because those guys, they made everybody better whether they wanted to be or not. And the great thing about Izzo is he never let the sun go down on a problem. And the great thing about Ralph Willard is there was always one thing that you could find a way to keep yourself in that game, no matter what it was. A different defense, a different play, a different set, moving a matchup around. And I carried those things forever.
1 ball, 2 strikes for Desmond, and a nice stop by Kurt Suzuki to even the count. And 2 balls, 2 strikes. Visiting with Tom Crean, new head basketball coach at the University of Georgia. He's with us tonight on Georgia Bulldogs night here at SunTrust Park. Braves and Rockies meeting in game 3 of 4. Another to follow tomorrow afternoon. Mike Foltynewicz trying to protect a 2-0 lead. And that one's off Suzuki's leg.
You were talking about Trevor Story, Chip, and his hustle, and again, just him hustling down the line to keep the inning alive has led to a problem.
Speaking of problems, where'd this get Kurt?
Right in the bunion.
Yeah.
And then, of course, he has to squat on that right foot as he awaits another pitch from Mike Foltynewicz.
It's gone to the rosin bag a lot tonight.
Well, it's 76 degrees at first pitch, but a humid night, and there's been some misting rain. Let's see if he can finish off the inning. Just missed. Full count. All of a sudden, this one's turned like the final 2 minutes of an NBA game. Coach, we did this just for you, unfortunately.
It's great. It's great for the sponsors, though.
Yeah, right.
Pitching change in the middle of the inning, get those units in. No, not in this one.
We'd prefer bottom half.
I understand.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Here it is. Instead, a late step out by Desmond. Time was called, so no pitch. And Fultonevich let go of the baseball. And it bounced about 15 feet in front of home plate, and he does not look very happy about that.
I don't think he should be.
No, I don't blame him, but you better gather yourself, because this is still a big hitter and a big pitch. I mean, that's, you know, when you get, as a pitcher, you get a timeout call that late, let it go. Just throw the pitch. Don't try to stop it. That's how you're going to hurt yourself. But you got to gather your emotions right here. I know you're ticked off. You got to settle in. You got to make a pitch.
And here it comes, 3-2. He made a pitch. Tom, great to be with you. Congratulations. Welcome to Athens. We're going to make a Braves fan out of you. In fact, we may have already tonight. Look at Tom Crean leading the chop. Looking good in that red and black.
Did I have good rhythm in that? Did I have good rhythm?
Very good.
Good.
Charlie Blackmon is right back here at home here in Atlanta. He went to North Gwinnett High School. He lived in Suwanee, and he went to Georgia Tech. And, you know, he always said growing up he got to play wiffle ball, and he always liked to emulate hitters. And he said he always got so excited when he got to pretend to be Chipper Jones because that meant he got to switch hit. And, guys, I bet if you would have told young Charlie Blackmon that years from now, Hall of Famer Chipper Jones would be in the stands watching Blackmon help lead his team to first place in the NL West, he would take that. And now I'm going to get this sunflower seed out of my glasses.
I was just going to say, you are the hardest working sideline reporter in the business.
I got it out. It's not there. They get me every time, man.
Yeah.
Every time. Someone new.
Who's the main character? Is that Ronald that does that?
No, it's usually Julio, that man right there.
Really?
Usually Julio.
Well, you're fair game if you're down there.
Yeah, usually Julio, Ozzie, and Acuna have been the recents.
Well, hang in there, Kelsey, as we bat in the bottom of the 4th inning. Braves 2, Rockies nothing. Inciarte, Suzuki, and Dansby Swanson are coming up. And a sharply hit ground ball to LeMahieu, who moves to his right and makes the throw to first for out number 1. That'll bring up Kurt Suzuki, who lined out to short. That ended the Braves' 2nd inning. The lone 1-2-3 frame that Senzatella has turned in tonight. Again, the Phillies were beaten by the Mets today. Jacob deGrom, a complete game. Miami was leading Washington. Now that game's 2-2 in the 6th inning of play at Nationals Park. Cardinals lead the Brewers 4-1. Cincinnati beating the Giants again 5-0. Here it's 2-0. Braves in the 4th. And a strike, says Joe West. 0-1. Day game tomorrow. Then we're off to Pittsburgh and Miami. Story at short. Bad hop. Stayed with it. And throws to first in time to get Suzuki. 2 out. Again, anything on the ground to the left side of this Colorado defense, fellas, is usually an out. And it was again for Story, who didn't panic. And Dansby's the hitter with 2 quick outs.
3rd or 4th in the league as a unit. They are 3rd. Arizona and Washington are tied for 1st in fielding percentage. The Nationals have actually made the fewest errors with 48. Rockies 53.
Dansby led off the 3rd with a single. The Braves got a couple of runs on a Markakis hit. Hits are even, 4 apiece. Colorado's left, 4 men on base. The pitch. Paints a corner, it's even. Dansby has 8 hits in his last 24 at bats. So he's coming along in the number 8 spot. And that one wasted outside. 2-2. Dansby would love to reach here and allow the Braves to clear Mike Fultonevich, who waits on deck. Mike has scored one of the 2 Atlanta runs. Missed inside. Full count. Big 74-mile-an-hour curveball. We'll do it again.
He had a pretty good inning to rest in the top half of the 4th here. Next pitch will be number 70. Again, his first outing since coming back from the DL. We'll watch and see how long they go with him.
Popped up. Gonzalez on the run in foul ground, cannot get there. So just enough foul ground for Dansby to stay alive. Long run for Cargo came up empty. And we'll do it again. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Another pop-up. This one, though, will be handled by LeMahieu. And DJ has it, and that is the inning. Braves are out 1-2-3 in the 4th inning. Walters, Senzatella, and Blackman are due in a 2-run Atlanta game. innings in Game 3 at home tonight.
Visit Synovus for your banking, lending, and investing needs. Synovus, the bank of here.
Joe, Tom, and Chip with you from Atlanta. Kelsey Wingert reporting by the Braves dugout tonight as well. Mike Fultonevich has a 4-hitter working. He could use an easy inning. He has had 1-1-2-3 frame. Colorado has left 4 men on base so far tonight, and here in the 5th he'll have Walters, the pitcher, and Charlie Blackmon scheduled. And a good hook has the Colorado catcher behind. No balls and a strike. Walters singled, took second on a balk, took third on a wild pitch in the 3rd inning, but Colorado couldn't bring him home.
Good hooks to start him.
Real good.
Leadoff men are 2 for 4 tonight. 2nd inning, 3rd inning.
That was one of Joe's keys tonight. The other was trying to control LeMahieu. Fultonevich has done that. LeMahieu's 0 for 2 in his first 2 trips tonight. A ball and 2 strikes. And corked foul. Well, the Rockies enter play tonight at 66-56. They are a legitimate playoff contender, and they are doing something this year that is extremely rare in the history of their franchise. Bud Black's club is 35-29 this year on the road. As that one's right down Broadway for a called 3rd strike. 6 of them for Fultonevich, 1 away. In the history of the Rockies franchise, and this is the celebration of their 25th season, they have had a winning record on the road exactly twice.
Wow.
And the most road wins they have ever had in a single season is 41. They've gone 41-40 2 times in franchise history.
They've got an excellent chance of breaking that.
Oh yeah, there's a team that you talk about taking care of business at home and being 500 on the road with the advantage they have at home in that ballpark. If they could just take care of the 500 aspect or close to it on the road, be pretty good.
Ground ball hit toward 3rd. Camargo will vacuum that up. Well, Colorado since July 2nd, 16-5 at home. They have, like the Braves, a very difficult schedule going in. Look, you can't sugarcoat it. Both the Braves and Rockies are going to play a lot of winning teams over these final 40+ games on the schedule.
I want you to look at the 3rd line on that. They're hitting more homers on the road than they are at home. That never happens for this club.
Well, last year they were 87-75, lost Arizona in the wild card game. Led the league in hitting as a team at .273, hit a lot of homers, and a .451 ERA. As you said, Tom, pitching in Coors Field, that is extremely respectable.
Yes, it is. Yeah, I don't know if they've. I know they're constantly trying to evolve out there in terms of what they're doing with their pitching staff, so I say that with a grain of salt. So I don't know how much they've changed philosophies, but they seem to have found guys that can pitch in that ballpark. And I don't know if it's been a change in philosophy, that they're getting a different kind of guys, or they've just hit more with the current group of guys that they have, but they seem to be much more respectable as a pitching staff in that ballpark.
Well, you can relate to this because you pitched some really good games there. And we were told last night about Kyle Freeland and his success there and his ERA there and how good it is, that his is more fastball changeup.
Right.
He's not really that concerned. He's got a breaking ball, but doesn't rely on that at Coors Field.
And I think you can be successful with that there.
Popped up and out of play, foul. Well, you look at their starters and their record at home. Anderson 2-3, but a .347 ERA. Freeland, who pitched here last night, 7-2, a .222 ERA at home. He's a Denver native, so pitching there in high school, I'm sure, has helped him. John Gray had to go to the minor leagues. 5-3, 473. German Marquez has had the worst luck. He's got a 6.42 ERA while pitching in Colorado. Blackman pops this one up right at Camargo, and Foltynewicz will have a much needed 1-2-3 frame. He protects a 2-0 lead. He'll lead off the 5th for Atlanta.
Our Fox Sports set in the Battery Atlanta for this Xfinity game break. I'm Rebecca Capel. New York Mets looking to even their 5-game series in Philly this afternoon. Top of the 7th, New York up 1. David Mesoraco takes this one to left center for a solo shot. It's his 10th of the season. Mets take the 2-0 lead. Jacob deGrom on the mound for the Mets. He pitched all 9 innings, 108 pitches to seal the 3-1 win for New York. He allowed 1 unearned run on just 3 hits and lowered his ERA even more, guys.
Yeah, Jacob deGrom, Rebecca, says he wants to win the Cy Young Award. Well, heck, any pitcher worth the salt wants to say that. The question is, will his tremendous work, despite a lack of run support, be enough to overcome a middling record?
What is his record now with that win?
Let me check that for you.
That 3 runs, by the way, was a windfall.
It was.
Yeah.
Runaway. 8-7.
Well, hey, if he finishes over 500, I mean, it's going to be hard if he finishes 500 or below. No, I mean, no matter how good his numbers are. But if he finishes above 500, and his numbers across the board in every other statistical category are that much better than everybody else's, why not?
Agreed.
I mean, it's the best pitcher in baseball, right? Not the guy with the most wins.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. How interesting, as this one is a swinging bunt, and Foltynewicz is going to be the first out. There has been so much talk around baseball by the newfangled numbers crunchers to eliminate the win.
No.
Will those guys, if that's truly what they believe, have the courage of their convictions if, as you said, deGrom's numbers are equal to or better than Scherzer's, to overcome Scherzer's 16 wins and vote for Jacob deGrom, who, as we said, is 8-7?
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. Like, I mean, it's, you know, his numbers are just dazzling everywhere else.
Acuna scalds one toward the gap in left center, and that ball's high off the wall. He's on his way to second with a 1-out double. He just missed hitting it out of here. Acuna's 2 for 2 with a walk and a run.
Oh my, did he get cleared on this one? Got that front hip out of the way. Great extension. This did everything but go out of here.
Yep. 18 doubles for Acuna. Now Ozzie Albies the batter. He's 1 for 2. So the Mets aren't going to win the East, but they are certainly going to have a say as to who does, with all their games left with the Braves and the Phillies and Washington. As this one's popped up, another pop up by Ozzie left-handed, and Arenado gives way to Story and Senzatella. Nice job to scamper over to third base just in case Acuna thought about tagging up.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the remainder of the season, and I don't know how many times the Braves, Phillies play those guys, what have you, but you're trying to win your division, or you're trying to secure a wild card, and you got to go play the Mets, and you got to face DeGrom, Syndergaard, Wheeler, whoever. That's not a, regardless of their record, if those guys are all healthy and rolling and pitching, that is not a team you want to run into having to win.
No.
Potentially.
Well, the Braves will run into the Mets. The final 3 times they play them is at the start of our final road trip in New York and in Philadelphia. So runner at second, 2 outs for Freddie Freeman. 2-0 Braves lead it. Freddie's walked and lined out. And this one's bounced foul. One last note on Jacob deGrom. He's the 4th National League pitcher with 200 or more strikeouts and an ERA under 2 through 25 starts. The other 3, Clayton Kershaw in 2014, Pedro Martinez in 1997, and the great Sandy Koufax in 1966.
Didn't they have a rain delay in that game too?
Yes, but I think at the beginning. 4th inning? Oh, how long, Tan? Do you know? Go foul.
It did. 0-2.
He hung around and still went 9 innings. Couldn't have been a very long one, you wouldn't think.
You wouldn't think.
41 minutes.
Yeah,
that's significant.
That is. That's kind of right on the edge of whether or not you're going to send a guy back out there.
Yeah, you have a couple cheesesteaks, some scrapple, and
no, that's Maddox. DeGrom probably didn't do that.
And all is right with the world. 0-2 the count.
Well, that's the beauty of having batting cages in the visitors clubhouse in all these ballparks now. You can keep throwing.
The 0-2 pitch is taken high.
Chipper was talking about that roundtable and enjoying the discussion between Bobby Cox and John Schuerholz, hearing about behind the scenes stuff. Wouldn't you love to know what guys have been placed on waivers?
Oh yeah.
And pulled back, or maybe have cleared waivers by this stage, getting ready for the waiver deadline on the 31st of August.
A swing and a miss. Senzatella with a big pitch. He works around the Acuna double with 1 out. And the heart of the order coming up for the Rockies. 2-0 Atlanta. We head to the 6th. Every moment this year, get Braves home screen icons and features like the MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio, stats, news, and more. Download MLB at Bat today. We are through 5. Atlanta trying to get on the board against Colorado here at SunTrust Park tonight. Mike Foltynewicz had a much-needed 1-2-3 fifth inning. He'll face the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for Colorado. It starts with one of Joe's keys, DJ LeMahieu, who is 0 for 2 so far.
Yeah, it's a double key here. LeMahieu and leading off an inning.
Liner is just foul. 0-2. Every time we see the Colorado Rockies, personally, I can't help but think of their late great former manager, Don Baylor, who passed away a little more than a year ago. You guys knew Don as a coach here with the Atlanta Braves. I was fortunate enough to have Don as the manager while I was with the Cubs. What a
good man.
Good man.
Yes.
I mean, that's the best way to describe him. Just a good guy.
Great player in his own right. Was a man who really respected the game, respected the great traditions of the sport of baseball. One of the toughest guys in the sport.
If they, you know, with the change in the rules at second base, sliding, they probably could have changed that rule when he and Hal McRae were playing, and all the infielders would have voted yes, absolutely. Get these guys out of us. They're on our legs and ankles and dumping us.
How about Foltynewicz? He's gotten LeMahieu 3 times tonight. That's his first strikeout of him, and 7 in total for Mike. You guys have a favorite Don Baylor memory from his time with the Braves as the hitting coach here? One that sticks out with you?
Yeah, the work he did with Chipper, that was pretty good.
Not bad.
First manager of the Colorado Rockies, and he got him into the playoffs as a wild card in only their 3rd year of existence. Tommy, a team you know very well, the old Blake Street Bombers.
Yeah, that was a dangerous team to play in that wild card round, especially when you're starting out there.
And to tell you how respected Don Baylor was when he left the Rockies, came to Atlanta, then became the Cubs manager, and after that tenure ended, when Clint Hurdle managed the Rockies, he brought Don Baylor back to be a coach. That doesn't often happen in professional sports. And Don, survived by his lovely wife Becky, just wonderful people, and anybody who knew Don Baylor, got to work with Don Baylor, their lives were touched. Unbelievable work with the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. As Cargo swings and misses. 2 outs. Don fought multiple myeloma for 14 years before passing away last August 7th.
Good pitch delivered right at the target. Now, when Don's legs basically prevented him from playing every day in the field, he was one of the first premier DHs. Boy, he was awesome in that role for some championship clubs.
Arenado skies one to center, and Foltynewicz is going to have another 1-2-3. He's starting to roll. He set down 7 straight. He's shutting out Colorado at home 2-0. 7th inning stretch. It's, as always, presented by Advance Auto Parts. Nick Reed and Rebecca Capel are standing by with that. Nick has some thoughts on the great company that Ronald Acuna and Ozzie Albies are in 2018 for the Braves. So you want to stick around for that. Senzatello's night is done. 5 innings of 2-run baseball. His first game back off the disabled list. Now Jake McGee is on to pitch. Bud Black hoping McGee can start to lower that lofty ERA, which at the moment is well over 6.
Pitched an inning last night, walked 2 guys, but he was able to strike out Adam Duvall to end the inning and leave the runners out there. But he has had a tough year.
He'll face Nick Markakis, who has the game's 2 RBIs. Johan Camargo and Ender Inciarte will follow. 80 runs batted in for the Braves right fielder. And now 152 hits. And once again, fellas, Atlanta finds a way to keep innings alive. The Braves now with 239 2-out runs this year. That is so uplifting for an offense and has to be, Tom, so deflating for an opposing pitching staff.
Yeah, no question. I mean, you're on the verge of getting out of an inning, and next thing you know, you don't. And yeah, those 2-out runs they hurt when you give them up.
2 balls, no strikes from Jake McGee. And now 3-0. This was supposed to be one of the strengths of the Rockies team, Joe, but despite the big contracts they've handed out, it's been really a work in progress for them.
Well, one of the 2 walks he issued last night was to the first batter he faced.
Got that one called a strike. 3-1.
This guy had great numbers, great success in Tampa Bay. Was a closer for them at a couple of different times. But with the addition of Davis, the addition of Shaw to go with this guy and Ottavino, they were in a real stacked position with their bullpen, one would think.
Yeah, they spent $100 million on those first 3 names in either new contracts or re-signed contracts. As Story will backpedal and make the play. And then at the deadline, they had to go out and add to their bullpen with Sungwon Oh, who we've also seen in this series. Oh, from the Toronto Blue Jays, a veteran right-handed guy for Bud Black's team. And it's not because their starters haven't pitched a lot of innings. Their starters have pitched 3rd most innings in the National League this year. They've just been plain ineffective by and large. But a nice comeback by McGee to get Markakis for the first out. Now Camargo bats. Johan's 0 for 2.
They've pitched Camargo tough in this series, just 1 for 9. I thought he hit one out with Acuna's bat, though, last time up.
Came close. Is he using it again?
Looks like it.
No balls, 2 strikes. Would you guys have liked to hit with these golf grips that they're using on the bat handle?
I think I would have.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I always take my bat, so you try to get that feel, but it's not quite as tacky as those grips.
I thought you were going to say my tie. Thank you for not doing that. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And that one served to second. LeMahieu's got it. He's a slick fielder. That's a routine play. 2 out. And here's Ender. He's grounded out to DJ twice. 2 up, 2 down, 6th inning. Phillies already lost. Miami's beating Washington 4-2. That's good news. Pittsburgh's leading the Cubs 3-1. That's in the 7th inning. Tyler Chatwood, former Rocky, starting that game for the Cubs, and his troubles have continued tonight. Beware the Cardinals. They're beating Milwaukee again 4-1. Miles Michaelis looking for his 13th win.
Wow, when Milwaukee came here, we said they were on a tough road trip, and it's been a tough one.
Cardinals are 20-10 since Mike Schultz took over for Mike Matheny. Cardinals entered play 1/2 game behind the Brewers for the second wild card. And we have to keep an eye on the Cardinals. The Braves play them 3 more times next month. Those 3 games, however, are here. And remember, the Braves swept them up in St. Louis.
Well, one only has to look at the American League West to see how quickly things can flip-flop. Oakland beating Houston again today and moving into a tie for first in the AL West.
Line drive by Ender against a lefty. Went the other way and hit it sharply. So a 2-out single for Inciarte. Okay, be honest, fellas. Mid-August, how many had the Oakland A's in first place?
Not me.
No, sir. Nice swing by Ender. Going the other way.
Trevor Cahill is the man that beat Dallas Keuchel, who is one of the hottest Houston pitchers coming into play today.
Cahill went 7 innings, only gave up 1 hit, no runs.
What'd you say earlier, Chip? Oakland was how many out at what point?
They were 10 games out of first place on July 10th. They've made up 10 games in the standings in 30 days roughly, helped in part because Houston lost 9 games in a row at home at one point.
Sounds a little like the '91 Bravos.
Yeah.
Weren't you guys 10 out at the break?
Something like that, yeah. And then we came out of the break on fire and we're right back in it.
Who knows, maybe there'll be Moneyball 2 in the offing if Oakland can win the Western Division. Kurt Suzuki is the batter with Ender at first and 2 out. Desmond fires to second and they picked off Ender, who thought he beat the rap. He thought the tag was high, but he's picked off, or he thought McGee balked. Either way, for the moment, the inning is over and Colorado's coming up in the top of the 7th, down 2-zip. Always refreshing when a Brave starter is dealing, and that is exactly what Mike Fultonevich has done tonight.
He's had it all working tonight, Tom.
Hey, he sure has. I mean, we talked about it in the open. Good fastball hitting team, and he's commanded his fastball down in the zone, which has made his off-speed pitch so much more effective. Been fun to watch, and I'm really happy to see him out here for the 7th inning.
Me too.
So there's Mike's line so far. That next to last number is the one that I like to see. No walks.
Well, he did this same thing against Miami. Remember, he went out for the 8th inning in that contest, and he was right about the 98, 99 pitch mark. Wound up throwing 113. I think he's actually gotten stronger tonight as the game's gone on.
Yeah, his last 2 innings have been his most effective, or efficient, I should say.
He set down 7 straight. 4 of those 7 have been retired on strikes. Little dribbler. Camargo bare hand. He makes a miraculous play. Whoa. With Chipper in the house, Camargo makes a Chipper-like play at third base. Gorgeous effort for out number 1.
You know, another guy, Arenado's won a Gold Glove every year he's been in the big leagues. What is it, 4 in a row, 5 in a row? He's got to like that too. He made a play similar to that earlier in the series. That was brilliant.
That was great. Everything about that was hard. Having to surround the ball, ball's moving, barehanded, make a good throw.
It's wet. I mean, that was great. Another leadoff man retired. Only 2 of them have reached for the Rockies. Again, one of Joe's keys for Mike tonight. Keep that first batter off. And a great play by Camargo helped him do that here in the 7th inning.
Mike's working fast too.
Dahl did not swing, and he's ahead in the count, 2-1. Foltynewicz trying to beat the Rockies for the first time in his career.
Oh man,
look out. That was awfully close to Desmond, who is standing in the on deck circle. He'll be next, but first a 2-2 pitch. Jammed him, and that's ricocheted off the Braves dugout railing. We'll do it again. Anibal Sanchez and German Marquez pitch tomorrow. We're on the air at 1 o'clock with Braves Live. First pitch 1:35. Braves are 6-3 so far on this longest homestand of the year. If they can win tonight and win tomorrow, they'd split the 4 games with the Rockies. And then we go to Pittsburgh and Miami. And then back home on Tuesday, August 28th against Tampa Bay. Foltynewicz just picked up his 9th strikeout, 2 away.
I like what he did there. He never went to anything else. He just kept pounding the fastball at the ball.
Guy keeps swinging late on you. Don't do him any favors.
So 1 more out for Mike to get. And then we will send it to the stretch presented by Advance Auto Parts. Sellout crowd has enjoyed Foltynewicz's dominating performance to this point. And Desmond takes ball 1. Heaviest workload for Mike was the 3rd and 4th innings. He's rolling all of a sudden now, and an even count. .111 pitches. Not too many of them, Tommy, have been stressful. 76 degrees at first pitch. I guess all that factors in.
Sure does. I mean, you had the one stressful inning, and that really has been about it.
And for the most part, I think Mike has had very few, if any, issues with Joe West other than that late timeout call.
Which was Desmond at the plate.
Right back where it came from. From the seat of his pants, he throws him out and ends the inning. Great night for Mike Foltynewicz. 2-0 Atlanta. We stretch before a sellout crowd at SunTrust. Has gone 7 innings of 4-hit shutout ball tonight. Georgia Bulldog fans chopping away as the Braves try to get on the board against Colorado here at home. And a new pitcher is on. It's Scott Oberg, who is, wow, 7-0 in 35 games this year.
That's not bad.
No.
He's just back from paternity leave, so he's a new father.
Congratulations.
So would he be 7 in Oberg? Is that how we'd introduce him?
He would. Yeah, he would for you.
He spent some time on the DL with a bad back, and Arenado with a rare miss at third base. Nolan played that off to the side, and Atlanta has a leadoff man on looking for some insurance. Don't see that too often. We'll wait to see how it's scored.
Yeah, you'll take that any time when that guy somehow doesn't come up with it cleanly. Oberg can rush it up there. He's mid-90s. Slider, change.
Suzuki's play scored a hit, and Dansby didn't get it. Strike one. Adam Duvall has grabbed a bat. The Braves could bunt with Swanson here with the pitcher spot coming up. And swinging away on the first one. Let's see if that strategy changes here in the Braves 7th. Braves have out hit Colorado 7-4. Both teams have left 4 on base. And one right there, a strike. Oberg went to UConn. His teammate George Springer. His other teammate Nick Ahmed. It's a pretty good baseball team, isn't it?
Yeah, UConn's got a good program.
He's the pride of Tewksbury, Massachusetts, and Tewksbury Memorial High School.
It's Tewksbury.
Oh, excuse me. Let me restate that. He's the pride of Tewksbury?
Tewksbury, Massachusetts.
Tewksbury.
Yes.
Thank you.
Sounds kind of like Tooksy Toussaint.
Yes.
Who's pitching tonight, or if weather permitting.
That's one of those New England pronunciations.
You got a lot of those in Georgia too. First the pitch. It's fouled away. On Georgia night, my old college professor, the late great Bill Martin, had us read a list of all these city names and county names in the state. Talliaferro. You'd think Taliaferro, right?
Taliaferro, yeah.
Tolliver. So that's right out of the Tewksbury book. I was thinking of Bob Tewksbury, the former Cardinal pitcher. This one's hit towards short. Tricky hop, Story handled, and LeMahieu the turn. So no bunt. And Dansby's doubled up. And Duvall is going to be called back, it looks like. And looks like Ryan Flaherty's grabbed a bat with nobody on. He'll bat for Mike Foltynewicz. 7 innings of 4-hit, 0 run, 0 walk, 9 strikeout baseball.
Great line for him tonight. Great opportunity for him to win his 4th in a row. Chan looked it up. They did play tonight at Gwinnett. Tookie Toussaint won his 3rd game. 6 innings, 1 run, 1 walk, 9 Ks.
And there's a chance, I beg your pardon, that Tookie could come back and pitch on the road trip. Braves have the luxury of so many arms in the system that if they want to give some guys an extra day of rest, they can dip into the system. And Tookie already a win in the major leagues. 1 at AAA tonight. We're off to the 8th. The Braves go to the bullpen, leading by 2. Part of our T-Mobile Built for Baseball feature tonight, because there's another member of our broadcast team that's also pitched in relief as a position player with the Boston Red Sox. Look at Nick Crean.
Nice leg kick.
High fastballs, 89 miles an hour. Ground ball there against the White Sox. I think he got A.J. Pierzynski out. That was Jim Thome, I think. He retired there. And then this little dribbler back to the mound and a heater to first as well. What do you think?
Look at him. Seems to me he was really the guy that started pitching at the upper part of the strike zone. I mean, look at him. When he started it all.
He wasn't going to let the infielders play either. How about that? Way to go. Cy Young Award winning Nick Crean.
Hey, reliever extraordinaire is what we put up earlier. I kind of like that. I did pitch at the top of the strike zone, not because I wanted to, because I had no choice. By the way, I threw the first pitch right down the middle, and they called it a ball. I had no idea I was going to throw a strike.
I want to know how'd your arm feel the next day.
I had dead arm for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And back surgery at the end of the year.
Let me ask you this. You're pitching at Fenway Park with that green monster up against you, and you're on the mound. You know, you're an infielder outfield. You're used to it defensively, but when you're on the mound, it had to feel a lot closer.
You know what was weird is I was the one that determined whether the game went on or not. I'd never been in that situation, so it was a little bit weird. I didn't know if I was going to pitch the 9th inning. They put me in the 8th, and nobody warmed up for the 9th, so I had to go back out. I think I threw 35 pitches, but you know what? I was in a great fielding position. Glad would appreciate that.
Yes,
I always finished where I could feel the baseball, and I got 2 ground balls back to me.
You weren't doing that to field your position. You're doing that to defend yourself.
Self-defense. That's right.
You saw how weak they were. A launch angle was about 0 miles an hour, 0 launch angle degree.
You got A.J. Pierzynski out too, didn't you?
I did, and we talked to him when I did the broadcast with Chip a couple years ago, and I didn't want to mention it because I didn't want to embarrass him. But actually, he was the one that hit the hardest ball.
Oh, okay. Oh, because I talked to A.J. earlier today. He said all he had was warning track power against your overwhelming stuff.
Hey, you know, another thing, too, is I can't make the ball move on flat ground. But I got on the mound. All I did was grip a 2-seamer, and it ran all over the place.
So it's easy. It's an easy game.
It's so easy, right? You just have to throw strikes. That's what it's all about.
Well, good job. Greeny, way to go.
Thank you, guys.
And thanks for sharing your memories on our T-Mobile Built for Baseball feature tonight. Garrett Hampson just walked against Johnny Venters. That's the first Colorado base runner since the 4th inning, and the first walk issued by the Braves. And in a 2-run game, that's problematic. Chris Iannetta is going to stand in and pinch hit for Oberg. He's a catcher by trade. A ground ball from Johnny might turn into 2 and get him out of 8th inning trouble here.
Johnny's last outing was against Miami on the 15th. An inning with zeros across and a strikeout, no walks. He'll walk the first one here tonight.
1 ball, no strikes. And that one caught a corner. It's an even count. Iannetta was the first man Charlie Culberson retired last night, and he was cussing up a storm, I think, as he made his way down the first base line. And wouldn't you know it, in the Atlanta 9th inning, Charlie came up to hit. And they were having a chuckle about that when Charlie took his position in the batter's box and Iannetta was behind the plate.
Well, you know it's embarrassing for an everyday player to be out by a position player that's pitching, even when the guy's throwing 94 miles an hour. That doesn't matter.
That was the shocking thing for me.
Yeah.
94?
Out of the stretch, no less.
1 ball, 2 strikes. And to first. The pitch around the plate.
I guess.
2-2. Awfully close.
Close. Could have called it.
Hampson leads at first. Same spot. A little further outside. Full count. You've got Blackman and LeMahieu lurking next. Let's see what Bud Black does here with nobody out and a 3-2 pitch. Left-hander on the mound. Hampson not going. And it's out of play.
And with these thumpers coming up next, there's no way I would want him to go either. Have somebody come up and pop one that might tie the game up.
Ground ball to short. Dansby's got it. Second base one. Plenty of time for a double play. That is the first double play turned in by the Atlanta defense against Colorado in this series, and that's a biggie. 2 outs, top of the order, still 2-0.
You bet it was big. Catcher running. Plenty of time from the hole for Dansby to get that feed over there.
So Charlie Blackman, the final hope in the Colorado 8th. He is 0 for 3. A little tardy. 1 ball, 1 strike. Perfect pitch. Right on the black. Now Venter's a strike away from sending the top of the Braves order up in the 8th inning. And he's working quickly. And that got Kurt Suzuki on the bare hand. Kurt's taking one off the ball of his right foot. And this one found the thumb and the wrist on the way by.
Why do you think we do that? Get hit in the hand, we immediately raise it up as high as we can and throw it down. And
because you're going to shake that pain right out of there.
Two balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Into the seats. At the big post-game concert tonight, Jason Isbell will perform with his band. It's a makeup concert date.
Yeah.
First one was rained out. We thought we might have to worry about a second postponement. As nasty as the weather was earlier. But it's a beautiful night now. Ozzie will charge. He's got to hurry, and he couldn't get his man. An 88 hopper to second base turns into an infield hit for Blackman. And now LeMahieu's coming up representing the tying run. The Braves will take a look just to make sure that Blackman beat the play at first. And it looks like he did.
Second time tonight they have just beaten out an infield hit. Story had the other one.
So Johnny Vetters gives up a walk, a hit in 2/3 of an inning. And the Braves will bring a right-hander in to face DJ LeMahieu.
the Georgia Lottery.
Braves by 2, but the Rockies bring the tying run to the plate in the form of DJ LeMahieu, but he's going to face former Rocky Dan Winkler, who's in his 54th game.
And he's had some rest. He's had 5 days off. Last worked against Miami, just like Foltynewicz in game 2.
Braves got Dan Winkler in the major league phase of the 2014 Rule 5 draft. In 2014, recovered from right elbow surgery all of 2015. Pitched in just 2 games for the Braves. And entering this season, he still had Rule 5 eligibility left because he fractured his elbow and had to go back to the disabled list. But that was cleared up about 2 weeks into regular season play, and Dan's had an outstanding season in relief.
That really surprised me. I didn't know that rule. I just figured his time, his service time that he was gathering on the disabled list would count toward the Rule 5 90-day rule.
He's come back from Tommy John surgery and a broken elbow. And he's just evened up the count with LeMahieu. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Dan was a starting pitcher in his career with Colorado, and he was a very good one. 33 wins, 22 losses in the minor leagues. He made 76 starts before the Braves got him and put him in the bullpen. He's a strike away from ending the Colorado 8th. And the pitch is high, full count. Got to make him put it in play. Don't want to walk him. The pitch is flied toward right. Markakis had his man played perfectly, and that's the inning. 2-0 Atlanta.
The bank of here.
Good ball game on a rainy night in Atlanta. Braves trying to get on the board against the Rockies. They'll start the home 8th with the top of the order. Ronald Acuna is the batter. Big night for him. Here's our Yellowwood brand bringing the lumber feature.
Well, you got to love what this young man's been doing during his hitting streak. Awesome work. 8 homers, 15 RBIs, a crazy OPS. How many straight games has he led off the ball game by getting on? 9.
Including tonight with a first inning single. So a 10-game hitting streak extended tonight as well. He's hitting around 360 out of the leadoff spot.
And as Dad used to say,
a little insurance wouldn't hurt.
No, it wouldn't.
No, it would not.
Ryan Shaw leads off. The Rockies' 8th on the mound and delivers a quick strike, especially with who's coming up. Gonzalez, Arenado, and Story will be the final hopes for Colorado in the 9th. A.J. Minter getting ready in the Atlanta pen. And a shot to right field the other way. A 3-hit night for Acuna. Love it. His 5th hit of the series, and he can fly. Let's see if the Braves put him in flight here with Albies coming up.
I just love how he makes adjustments. He got a big cutter or slider there from Shaw and didn't try to do too much with it. Just beat the shift. Nice. He's pushing up to 290, over 290 tonight.
In fact, with his 3-for-3 night, he's at 296.
There you go.
I was talking about this on the scorecard with Joe. I can't remember a time where I've written down, and we'll be able to do this tomorrow for Acuna, that a man is 18 for 35 with 6 homers on a homestand.
No, you don't write that down very often.
No, sir.
That is Acuna's line after his 8th inning at bat tonight.
It's Iannetta behind the plate now too, instead of Walters if he does run.
One ball, no strikes. They think he's going to run. He is running. Got a great jump. Pitch a strike. The throw to second is late. What a jump by Acuna. He's got 10 stolen bases.
He sure did, Chip. As soon as Shaw's left heel came off the ground, he was gone. Real explosive crossover step. Good throw by Iannetta. He didn't have a chance to get him, though.
One ball, one strike for Ozzie, who's 1 for 3 now. RBI chance for him at the very least. He'd like to get Acuna to third base. The pitch. You know, Joe, something else I've noticed about Ronald last couple of days, when he's making those breaks to the base, he's not looking back at the batter's box. He's keeping his eyes on the base paths, or the base ahead, I should say. That time, straight as an arrow. And stole it rather easily. 1-2 pitch. And Ozzie can't advance him. He swings through it. 1 on, 1 out.
Tommy, you know better than anyone. This is a postseason situation here. You got to execute in these situations.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, if you're gonna allow yourself to get into a postseason, yeah, that's the kind of thing that you have to be able to perform in a postseason type environment. You have to be able to move that guy over. I mean, runs are at a premium in the postseason. You're not going to outslug people most of the time. It's small ball, and you have to be able to execute those things.
You know, and it's not just, I mean, it's not to say it's easy, but even if you trust yourself more, just putting down a drag bunt.
Sure.
Do that.
Yeah, there's, you know, more than one way to skin a cat, right? So yeah, if you don't feel like you're swinging it well enough that you can rely on yourself to just hit that ground ball over there, worst case scenario, yeah, lay down a bunt.
And no one knows that better than Ozzie. He's frustrated by it.
But Freddie picks him up with a base hit to left. Here comes Dahl. 3-hop. Throw to the plate. It is going to be cut off and dropped by Arenado. Freddie Freeman with a clutch hit extends the lead. It's 3-0.
And that's the kind of pick-me-up that makes it the other go away. Absolutely. What a good job. Backdoor cutter. Beat the shift again.
Yeah, was a tad up. Didn't quite have the bite on it. Nice at bat.
Big insurance run for Atlanta. Now Nick Markakis. So the Braves 3 and 4 hitters have all 3 RBIs tonight. Nick Markakis put Atlanta in front with a 2-out clutch single in the 3rd inning, and that's been more than enough for Mike Fultonevich, who's gone 7 shutout frames. Venters and Winkler pitched around a hit and a walk in the 8th. And now it's Atlanta 3-0 in front. Just a little high there.
Braves 2 for 8 with runners in scoring position tonight, and those are the 2 hits you were talking about, Chip.
And that's pretty much been the story all year long. When the chips have been down, Freeman and Markakis have put together huge at bats. Lefty, righty, 2 outs in innings. Late inning action. The Braves have done such a good job of 2-out action. It has been a very pleasant recurring offensive theme this year.
Yeah, it's nice when you can have the excitement of your young guys, and you're going to have you're always going to have your ups and downs no matter what throughout your lineup, and probably even more so when you have so many young guys. But what a luxury it is when you have those 2 veteran professional hitters in the middle of your lineup to just count on night in and night out.
2 balls and a strike. That's bounced foul. The amazing thing is, too, their work against lefties, number 1, but Tommy, they've been in the starting lineup every single day.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a huge luxury. I mean, to have 2 guys that are that important to your team, to your lineup offensively, to have them in there every single night. I mean, that's in this day and age, that's a huge luxury.
Braves manufacture an 8th inning run. Acuna hit a steal and scores on Freeman's hit to left. They're paying close attention to Freddie, who's got a big lead at first base.
Yeah, he's taking a lead like he's thinking about it, but
sure is.
Can't imagine he's going to run.
Had a long talk with Eric Young, too. Yeah, it's a balk to me. He is kind of spinning when he throws to first. He's just spinning on that front foot. He's not really stepping like you're supposed to.
Two balls, 2 strikes. And Nick fought that off.
Chan tells me that in this homestand, this is the 10th game of the homestand. Is that right? Yeah, 10th game, and Acuna just scored his 15th run.
So let me add that to his homestand totals. 18 for 35, 6 homers and 15 runs in 10 games. That'll play.
Yeah, typically your leadoff man scoring a run a night, that's usually a good sign.
Sure is.
The 2-2 pitch. He is high, ball 3. So you've got one of the toughest guys in the league to strike out. Freddie's got his share of stolen bases. You've got the lead.
Send him. Why not?
I say send him too. Might affect what Iannetta calls here too. Setting up away.
He's going. And it is strike 3. The throw is going to be in time. What a catch and what a tag. The throw sailed by Iannetta, but Story came over, grabbed the ball, and ticked Freddie Freeman on the helmet as he went by. A strike him out, throw him out double play that the Braves are going to check just to be sure. What an incredible play at shortstop.
Yeah, I didn't think they were going to get to the bag. But what a nice recovery. Another good throw by Iannetta.
Big pitch and an even bigger throw.
Must have gotten him on the helmet as he went by.
Yeah, Freddie, good thing he didn't jam his ankle there too.
Wow, incredible play. And to the 9th we go. It's 3-0 Atlanta. 4th. First 20,000 fans here at SunTrust get a Boston Braves Babe Ruth bobblehead brought to you by Gas South. Get your tickets today at braves.com/tickets. Well, here's where a major league closer earns his stripes. He's got to get the 3, 4, 5 hitters out in a 3-run game, and A.J. Minter has been outstanding in the closer's role for the Braves. He's got Gonzalez to lead off the Rockies' 9th. Cargo's got the hat trick working. He has struck out 3 times in this game.
A.J. pitching here is kind of a bad news, good news thing. The bad news is he hasn't pitched in the first 2 games of this series, which means he didn't come in a save situation, and the Rockies won the first 2 games. But the good news is they haven't seen him. He's only pitched once against them this year. That was back in April for 1 inning. That's to his advantage.
One ball, 1 strike. And that's taken high. That 1 inning was on April 7th at Coors Field. Minter pitched the 9th inning in a game decided in the 10th in Colorado's favor, 3-2. Two balls and a strike. And now 3-1. Arenado's next. Story to follow for the Rockies. They came back and beat the Braves 5-3 in game 1 of this series. Just their 3rd win of the year when trailing after 8.
This is where you just got to see how far he can hit it. Don't walk him.
He tried to, Tommy, didn't he?
And it was ball 4.
Yep.
So will he get the fastball or will he get the cut fastball here?
I hope he gets the fastball.
Me too.
We're about to find out. Here it comes. Little tapper hit toward 3rd. Camargo, gloves, grabs, guns, got it. 1 out in the 9th. This crowd has been in this game from the very first pitch. The oohing and aahing started when Ronald Acuna came up. And as we zoom in on our Xfinity cam, we've got a record crowd of 42,143, the 15th sellout at SunTrust Park. George Poulos taking a look at the hand of A.J. Minter. You automatically think blister.
Yep. Yeah, it looked to me like he was looking at it a couple times after he threw a pitch.
And he's had 3 days off. Could have been the throwing in between.
No visit. He says he's good to go. So that's something to monitor.
I'm not sure. I'm speculating here, but it looked like Joe West is the guy that made that decision.
Would they have found some blood on the baseball maybe?
Well, he could have said, do you want to come out? And AJ said no. Okay, let's go.
Let's go. Yeah. Let's move it along.
So here's Arenado. 1 out, bases empty, 9th inning. Arenado, a 2nd inning single. And 3 tries. One ball, no strikes.
Did you ever have trouble with that, Tommy?
Blisters?
Yeah.
No, I never did.
It's a blessing.
Foul at 3rd. Camargo hugging the line. It's 1-1. I know Max Fried has had problems with blisters. Cost him some time on the DL. He did pitch for Gwinnett yesterday. 4 1/3 innings. A 3-run ball. Good to see him back on the mound after a groin strain. And a little shot toward second. Ozzie had his man play perfectly. Minter had to do a back bend to get out of the way of that ball up the middle. And Ozzie in the shift showed his range. And the Braves are an out away from picking up a win.
2 really good defensive plays here already in the 9th inning. One by Camargo and now this one by Ozzie.
Yeah, Minter tried to get a glove on it. I'm glad he didn't.
Me too. Good play by Albies.
One more out to get, and the Braves will pick up a game in the standings. Philly's already lost. Washington is losing in the 9th. Capacity crowd at SunTrust on its feet, loving what the Braves are doing on this homestand. Ball 1. Story legged down an infield hit in the 4th. Camargo robbed him with a gorgeous play in the 7th. He's 1 for 3. Fly ball to left. Acuna going back, still going back. That ball is off the base of the wall. Well played by Ronald. He'll fire it into second base, but that's a shade late. And Story keeps the game alive for Colorado with his 2nd hit and his 34th double of the year.
Looks like Cutter coming in again.
That's what he did back in the 4th inning that gave Fulte a tough inning to work through, and he got that infield hit with 2 out, nobody on. Well, that was a huge run in the bottom of the 8th for the Braves.
Took the words right out of my mouth. Now David Dahl could hit one to his hometown in Birmingham and the Braves would still lead. But it's a lefty-lefty matchup now. Dahl has struck out twice. He's doubled once. And he was very late at 96 miles an hour. 0-1. Line drive into center. That's going to get down for a hit. Story will come to 3rd and stop. So it's 1st and 3rd with 2 outs. Dahl with his 2nd hit. And now Darth Vader and Spikes is coming up for the Rockies. That's Ian Desmond. All Desmond has done is knock in 6 runs in this series so far, including 5 last night. And he represents the tying run.
The third base coach is Stu Cole, and that was a smart move. That run doesn't mean anything. Don't want to run into an out, even though he might have scored easily and Ender was ready to concede the run. This is the guy that matters, and he's standing at the plate.
He's 0 for 3 tonight. Pitcher's spot is due next for Colorado. The Braves want to worry about a new lineup card tomorrow. 1-0 pitch. Fouled away. Good cut. Gerardo Parra grabs a bat. If Desmond can keep the game alive, he's going to come up next.
Yeah, they've already used their right-handed hitters. Hampson and Iannetta off the bench. They only have McMahon and Parra left, both lefties.
Well, I swear if you're going to throw that cutter, you got to make sure it misses in. You cannot make a mistake inner part of the plate in this situation.
And that's where they're going. 1-1 pitch. And it almost hit him. Ball 2. Now the 2-1 pitch to Desmond. One more of those and Minter will be in business.
That was a beaut.
Yeah, that's a perfect pitch there. You got a guy looking in, trying to go deep, trying to tie the ball game. You give him that pitch that looks like it's in, and it finishes in well off the strike zone and can't do anything with it.
Here's where you want action. 2 balls, 2 strikes. It bounced up there. It's a full count. AJ got the first 2 outs. Story double, Dahl single. Now Desmond with a 3-2 pitch in a 3-run game. Now he's ready. Line into left field. That's headed for the corner. That's going to score 1. Here comes Dahl to third. They're going to wave him. Desmond has doubled. It's a 1-run game. And he's knocked in 8 runs in this series.
And he got the mistake in. Unfortunately, he didn't elevate it.
Well, that was a quick swing, too. Ian Desmond always keeps both hands on the bat, and that top hand was working there. These guys have a deep lineup. Ian Desmond may be hitting in the 230s, but as you said a couple of days ago, Chip, he's had some big hits for these guys through the season.
So a breather for Minter for the moment. 3 straight 2-out hits for Colorado. And now with Gerardo Parra up there, the tying run is in scoring position. Let's see how Parra fares against lefties. A 188 hitter. 19 strikeouts in 85 at bats. The first pitch to Parra is on the way, and it's way outside. Ball 1. So AJ got the first 2 outs, but he's piling up the pitches now. 20 stressful tosses in this 9th inning. Little flare into shallow left is going to drop, and it's going to tie the game. The Colorado Rockies were down to their last out in the 9th inning, and Gerardo Parra dumps a single into left, and Mike Foltynewicz cannot win this game.
Second time in this series where the Braves starting pitcher was in line to get a win. Tehran on Thursday and Folty tonight, and they come away with no decisions. 3-run 9th on Thursday, 3-run 9th so far tonight.
They were down to their last strike a couple of times in this 9th inning, but the Rockies have somehow found a way to tie the score. So now the Braves bullpen will get busy. Kurt Suzuki will come out and give them some more time to loosen up. And at 21 pitches, Brian Snitker may have to go get AJ Minter, and he will. So it's Luke Jackson who's going to come on and pitch. The Colorado Rockies were a strike away from being sent to defeat in Game 3. But that 27th out, they say, is the toughest to get. It was for AJ Minter tonight. Watch the Braves take on the Pirates and stay for the free post-game show brought to you by Coca-Cola. Get your tickets at braves.com/Z. Jason Isbell is waiting in the wings, hopefully after the Braves end the top of the ninth inning and win it in the bottom half. As Luke Jackson is getting more and more responsibility late in games for the Braves, he'll face Chris Iannetta, who's batting for the second time. He hit into a double play in his first appearance at the plate.
Luke last pitched Thursday night, got in a little trouble with a 2-out situation, gave up a single and a walk, but struck out Arenado to get out of the inning.
So we've had Georgia Bulldog night. We've had the Chipper Jones bobblehead night. It's also social media night. I can only imagine what social media universe is saying about the crazy ninth inning we've seen tonight. Braves got the first 2 outs. 4 straight Rockies hits have tied the game 3 apiece. And this one's popped back toward us, but out of reach. It's an even count for Iannetta. In the Braves ninth, Camargo, Inciarte, and Suzuki are the scheduled hitters. Runner goes. Pitch is taken low. It's a stolen base, no throw. And now Parra's in scoring position. A hit could bring him home. Talked about this the other night. The Rockies are an aggressive base running, base stealing team. And now he's got a huge lead at second, and Iannetta heading the count. Bouncing ball left side. Camargo gloves from the grass. Patty cakes and fires, and that's the inning. 3 runs on 4 hits. Atlanta comes up in the home ninth. New game, 3-3 your score. Filling the new CJ10 beer here at SunTrust Park. Big crowd was there to salute the newest Braves Hall of Famer. Let's hope we're all raising a glass after Atlanta takes care of Adam Ottavino in the bottom of the ninth inning. Kind of like that segue from beer to Ottavino in a 3-3 score.
I like it. Fastball slider. Fastballs in the mid-90s. This guy's been used a lot. 56th game for them and an excellent ERA. Sub 200 average and just a $1.45 for right-handers.
Well, Camargo leads the club in RBIs since June 1st. He's got 8 game-winning RBIs this year. How about a line drive homer? Oh, what happened to Ottavino there? After he released that ball, looks like he stumbled on the front slope of the mound.
Arenado saw that too. He was checking on him.
Ball 2. Ottavino has the 4th best relief ERA in the league. But he's thrown 3 off the plate to start the sequence with Camargo, who's 0 for 3 tonight.
Yeah, he does not look very comfortable out there right now.
Almost looks like a side session where he's trying to get his feet under him.
And a 4-pitch walk in a tie game starts the Atlanta 9th. There is nobody up in the Colorado pen. And he is walking around the mound looking like the loneliest man in the world right now.
Yeah, he doesn't. Looks like Tom said he looks like he doesn't feel well or uncomfortable. Big guy, 6'5", 245.
Ender has a base hit in 3 tries tonight. And he lays down a bunt. Runner to second. That'll be scored a sacrifice for Inciarte, and now Suzuki, Swanson, and then we'll see for Atlanta with the winning run in scoring position in the 9th with 1 out.
Beautiful. Great job by Ender.
Kurt Suzuki is heating up at the plate. He's got a 6-game hitting streak. Picked up an infield knock in the 7th.
One for 5 in his career against Ottavino.
LeMahieu trying to keep Camargo close, and the pitch is a strike. Dahl, Blackman, and Gonzalez are the outfield arms for Colorado. Camargo does not have a gigantic lead at second. No balls and a strike. High fly ball toward left. Dahl going back to the track. He's going to have room. He just missed. Camargo's going to tag and come to third, and he's in safely. Oh, baby, another biscuit for breakfast, and Suzuki would have walked off with a homer.
Just missed. Looked like he got a hanging slider and just missed it.
So a runner at third now with 2 outs. Dansby's had a flair for the dramatic in late inning situations. And he has 8 hits in his last 26 at bats.
2 for 2, double and a triple off Ottavino. Also has a walk.
And the first on the way. It is high, ball 1. Charlie Culberson is on deck if Dansby can reach.
You know, it used to be you'd say, you know, you take a wild pitch, you take a pass ball. The way the ball's been shooting back to the catcher off the back wall here, that's not an automatic anymore.
I'll take any one of them, though.
Take a chance at it.
1 ball, no strikes. A leadoff walk and a sacrifice. A deep fly ball to left. Winning run 90 feet away and a 2-0 count. Made him throw a strike, and he did. 2-1.
Ottavino's in that spot, Tom, you were talking about earlier tonight, where he doesn't have to throw a strike. 2-0. He could pitch backwards through that front door breaking ball.
Yeah, I would imagine he's not going to throw a fastball for a strike, I wouldn't think. Shows you what I know. Of course, if you throw it there, you can throw it.
Yeah, you can throw it to anybody.
And Dansby went to a knee as he swung and missed 93 miles an hour. Well, Colorado show they can stay alive with 2 strikes. Can Dansby and the Braves here in the bottom of the 9th? Good take, full count.
This is like the 2-0 count. Get to a front door breaking ball. He doesn't have to throw a fastball here. He's got 2 bases open. He can take a chance and see if Dansby will expand his zone, trying to win the ball game. I don't look for him to throw it in again. More like the slider away. And if you chase, Dansby's got to be ready to cover outer half.
Oh, he swung at ball 4. A sweeping slider, 1.5 feet, maybe 2 feet off the plate. And we are playing free baseball in Atlanta. Top of the order coming up for Colorado. It's 3-3. Ninth stunned the crowd at SunTrust. Braves were 1 out and a couple of times 1 strike away from securing a victory. Now Luke Jackson will try to work his full 10th inning with Blackman, LeMahieu, and Gonzalez coming up.
Braves are 4-7 in extra inning games. The Rockies are 4-4.
Charlie Blackman had an 8th inning infield hit. 1 of 9 for the Rockies, and he lashes that one out of play, foul. Well, the Braves and Rockies proving to be quite the warm-up band for Jason Isbell. They'll have the concert after this one. As we move toward 10:30 local time in Atlanta. 1 ball, 1 strike. Washington got the game tied in their half of the 9th inning. They're in extra innings at home with Miami. That one's 5-5. Jacob deGrom and the Mets already beat the Phillies. And a ground ball right to Freddie. Picked out the hop he wanted, and Blackmon's retired, 1 out. Kurt Suzuki screaming to Luke Jackson to turn around so he can throw on the baseball.
JT Riddle hit a home run in the top of the 9th for Miami to put them on top, and then Adam Eaton hit a homer to tie it.
Wow. LeMahieu flied out to right. That ended the 8th inning. He's 0 for 4. And a good choice. Strike 1. Fly ball well hit center. Ender on his horse. Still going back. And it's over the 400 sign. A home run. The Colorado Rockies simply will not die in Atlanta. They've come back from a 3-0 deficit. They've got their first lead on a home run to straightaway center by DJ LeMahieu.
You know, I was just about to say, you're just tiptoeing through minefields here with these guys, because all of them are trying to hit the ball out, and they can, except for LeMahieu. He's got 9 homers. Now that's formidable enough. He just hit his 10th. But you got other guys to follow him that have 14, 30, and 25, and he's the guy who does the damage.
So a splashdown homer for LeMahieu, his 10th long ball of the year. And this crowd in Atlanta all of a sudden is stunned. The Rockies lead it 4-3.
I thought he hit it good. I didn't think he hit it that good.
Me neither.
Another rope, this one off Cargo's bat. Ender is streaking, can't get it. That's going to bounce high off the fence and ricochet back toward the infield. And Gonzalez has a double. Back-to-back extra base hits. And now the Rockies are looking for some insurance. They have a 1-run lead. The Braves will have their 9, 1, and 2 hitters coming up in the bottom of this inning.
Well, that was a curveball too. That's their 4th extra base hit in the last inning and a third.
And Chuck Hernandez is once again out to the mound. It's speaking of minefields you have to tap dance your way through, it's a very difficult one for Brian Snitker and Chuck Hernandez in this regard, guys. There are so few days off left on the schedule that you can very quickly run through your bullpen and exhaust them for 3 or 4 days, which you might pay for 5 or 6 later if you're not careful. And I think Brian Snitker and Chuck have done a great job of trying to limit innings, limit consecutive appearances.
That's why Charlie pitched last night, trying to save somebody an outing.
Ground ball up the middle, a base hit on the first pitch. Arenado's going to bring Cargo home, and Colorado does have insurance. 3 straight hits. If the game ended in the 8th, we'd be dancing in the streets. But Colorado has scored the last 5 runs, and they now lead 5-3.
Another breaking ball.
Well, we've said it before, we'll say it again. These two teams are so similar in so many ways. Difficulty of schedule, good work on the road, late inning magic. Colorado is on a stretch of 43 straight games against teams with winning records, and they are in position tonight to win their 29th of them.
Yeah, they seem to be unfazed by it. They're just going about their business.
1 ball, no strikes. And of their remaining games, they have 7 left against a losing club, and that's the San Diego Padres. The Rockies started the game 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position tonight. They are 4 for their last 5.
Yeah, they went to work with 2 out in the 9th.
And Trevor Story digs in. and pops one up. Freeman gives chase over near the on-deck circle. Suzuki is going to get there first, and that's the second out. It was Story who doubled off the wall in left to start that 2-out ninth inning Colorado rally, I should say, against A.J. Minter. And here's Dahl. He continued it with a single last time up. He's put together 4 hits in this series. And that one all the way to the backstop. No chance for Kurt Suzuki. Another runner in scoring position on a wild pitch. And now they'll go ahead and walk Dahl and set up a force play at every base. And Joe West is yelling at the bat boy.
See, the bat boy is probably like I was for the first half of the year. He didn't realize what was going on.
Yeah.
So it's first and second, and here's Desmond. What a series for Ian Desmond. 8 RBIs in 3 games. Ground ball up the middle. Dansby's got it. Settles his feet and throws a strike to first. And that ends the inning. LeMahieu homers to center. Gonzalez doubles and comes home on an Arenado single. It's Colorado by 2, bottom 10th. Braves have 3 outs left. Big blow a moment ago from DJ LeMahieu. Let's look at his homer on StatCast AI powered by AWS.
It was on a breaking ball too, and as Tom and I said, we neither one thought it was hit that well. I thought it was hit too high. 116 feet though, that'll do it. He's used to hitting it in the rocks and the pine trees.
Yeah.
Coors Field.
Yeah. They have a water feature back there too, don't they? They have a
stream,
a stream or something, trout stream out there. Well, he hit it to Chattahoochee Falls in center field here, and Wade Davis is on for the Colorado club. He'll try to pick up his 34th save of the season.
He got a little trouble in the 9th inning on Thursday night after his team had rallied. He gave up a leadoff single to Freddie Freeman, who stole a base. Then he struck out Markakis, struck out Camargo, and got Inciarte to line out to end the inning and pick up the save.
Davis with 1 more save than Kenley Jansen of the Dodgers for the National League lead. And that's taken high. For whatever reason, the Braves have not been able to solve the National League West. Barring a comeback in the 10th inning, Braves are in jeopardy of falling to 9-17 against Western Division clubs. And we've got 7 left against the West. One more with Colorado tomorrow, and then a very important September trip to Arizona and AT&T Park to play the Giants. Culberson, Acuna at Albies versus Wade Davis. That got a piece of Ionetta's mask on the way by. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Miami takes a 7-5 lead in the 10th inning in Washington. That one now in the bottom half.
Wow. Washington just cannot get it going.
Well, they traded 2 pieces of their bullpen. Doolittle's hurt. Madsen's hurt. All of a sudden, they're real short-handed in relief.
Yeah. Released Kelly. Traded him away after he was designated.
And Kinsler to the Cubs. The pitch outside. 2-2. Cardinals won 7-2 over Milwaukee. They leapfrog into the second wild card ahead of the Brewers. And they gain a ground on the Cubs, who were beaten today. Pittsburgh won 3-1. Two balls, 2 strikes. Wonder how differently the fortunes of the Rockies would have been had Greg Holland accepted the free agent deal that Wade Davis took with Colorado. Holland instead settled for a 1-year deal with the Cardinals. It did not work out there. They let him go, and now he's pitching in Washington. Wonder if he had a hand in the late inning Miami heroics. Ground ball to Arenado. He'll charge, and he'll throw a strike to first for out number 1.
Davis throws a lot of cutters, throws hard. Pop it up there at 95, but a lot of hard cutters in the low 90s with a slider. Looking for his 34th save.
He's already surpassed his save total from last year, which was a career high 32 with the Cubs. So Acuna's had a spectacular night. 3 hits, a walk, 2 runs, and a stolen base. And a good cut at a 94-mile-an-hour heater, but came up empty. It's strike 1. Good take. It's an even count. Davis got that call. It's 1-2. Again to third. Arenado awkwardly caught that ball, and look at that throw.
That almost took a little spinning hop by him.
Yeah, that was a good recovery. Heck of a play.
Check your lower back and then look at the throw. I mean, Vinny Castilla, like right on the money and almost through the webbing of Desmond at first. So the Braves are down to their final out. It's Ozzie Albies. He's 1 for 4. First inning single. This kind of game is what can be so exasperating and hard to swallow in baseball. You've dominated the game. You are a strike away from maybe shutting out a real good team. But 4 straight hits, they tie it, and then in the bonus inning, go ahead by 2.
What really hurts is it's the second time in 3 against these guys.
Yeah.
You had them in the 9th.
Well, the Rockies have done to the Braves what the Braves have done to a lot of opponents.
Right.
A lot more fun being on the other side of it. As that's high, ball 2. Maybe Davis will be thinking about who's on deck here and lose Albies and bring Freddie up with a chance to tie it.
Yeah, need a base runner.
Line drive, it is curling foul. So now Colorado needs a strike to end the game. As he flirted with a double. And now the right-hander stretches and delivers a 2-2 pitch. Hit high in the air to right. Cargo going back, feeling for the wall, has room. And the Colorado Rockies have won this series, and they have broken the Braves' hearts tonight. 3 in the 9th, 2 in the 10th. And Atlanta a chance to gain a game on the Phillies. Can't do it. They're a half game up, and will try to salvage 1 of 4 fellas here tomorrow. Quick turnaround with first pitch at 1:35 Eastern Time. Colorado 5, Atlanta 3, your final in 10. We'll recap it on Braves Live, which is presented by Xfinity. For Joe Simpson, for Tom Glavine, for Kelsey Wingert, Chip Carey, I wish a happy belated birthday to Bill Bartholomew. 90 years young. He was honored before the game today, and the sellout crowd saw a whale of a ball game. Unfortunately, it went Colorado's way in extra innings. Braves fall to 68-54. Colorado 67-56. Ottavino beats Jackson. Davis' 34th save. And we will talk all about it with you on the post-game show. It's coming up right after this.